Two. You hear me? All right, I'm just checking. Oh man, my chat overlay got smaller. I'm gonna have to fix that. What? How did that get smaller? What the hell happened? Oh, see you, y'all. I see you, Kick. I see you, Twitch. Hey, we in there, YouTube. Hey, we in there, y'all.
Fire.
Okay. Yep, no problems. Twitch, what we looking like? And Kick, both of y'all tell me what's going on. Like, does it look good on y'all side? Look, minus the chat being super small. Like, I'm gonna have to correct that. I'll correct that probably after this stream. I ain't gonna lie, I actually forgot that happened. I appreciate the follow on Twitch. Who is that? Mama CC, I appreciate that. It look good? Okay. OCO Joker, how you? Paradise Mac. Juan, what's good? I see you on Kick. Yeah, we just getting started. Yellow Hammer. OCO, brother. Hope all is well. Let me give y'all a round of applause. Okay. So the multi-streaming look okay now. I mean, it doesn't appear to be an issue, which is a good sign. About to find out tonight. AP man in the building, I appreciate that. I see you over there on Kick. It's clear? Good. I hope it's clear on all three. It looked like it. People on all three are telling me it's clear. No hiccups, and I'm doing effects and everything. Hit that like button if you're on YouTube. We should be good to go. All right, hold up. Let me see what we got real quick. Where that one at? Hold, before I play that one. We should be good to go. Yes, sir. I see you, Florida in the building. Pennsylvania in the building. Uptown Bronx, New York in the building. San Diego in the building. I see you. What up, chat? Make sure y'all hitting that like button on your way in here. Brooklyn in the building. Baltimore in the building. What up? H-Town in the building. San Diego, Texas. Wait, San Diego, Texas? Huh? Yeah, absolutely. What up, DC? DC all day that. Southern Maryland in the building. Richmond, Virginia in the building. West Park, Florida in the building. Houston, Texas in the building. Evansville in the building. We about to get to Indiana. What up, Indiana? Yeah, we're gonna be talking about that today. Shout out to Chicago, by the way. You gonna try to watch all 4 channels? Is it 4 channels? It should be 3. I didn't hit live on TikTok. TikTok got its own thing. It should still just be 3 right now. Yeah, that's San Antonio, Texas. What up? I see you, Texas. Oakland in the building. What up, Oakland? Seattle in the building. Yeah, Philly in the building. DMV in the building. Columbia, South Carolina in the building. What up, Carolina, South Carolina, North Carolina. Los Angeles in the building. Tennessee in the building. Yeah, I know, my chat. I know. It's crazy how that happened. I'm gonna have to fix that. I don't know how that happened, but I'm gonna have to fix that. Like, it's like, matter of fact, let me look at that, but I think I know what it is. And it's gonna take a second for me to fix that. I had changed some settings in here and then it messed up my settings on my chat. I'm talking about micro mini chat at that. Like, I'm gonna fix that up. It's okay. We gonna fix that up. It's gonna be better during the next stream. But keep in mind, it don't look like that for me on my side. So I'll be able to read chat. Yeah, it do look like y'all gonna need some. Dallas, Texas, what up? Y'all gonna need a microscope to read chat. We gonna fix that though. What up, Detroit? I see you, Detroit. What up? Yeah, that be fire. Let me see. What else we got? What my other one at? Yeah, this one. Little Rock, Arkansas in the building. Hampton Roads, VA in the building. What up? Stillwater, Oklahoma in the building. Yeah, I'ma fix that. Don't worry about that. You see even the gifts that pop up in the chat small? I'ma fix all that. Y'all know I'm a one-man army. We gon' fix that. What up, Chi-Town? What up, Chicago? New York in the building. Alabama in the building. Detroit in the building. Chicago in the building. Michigan in the building. Kansas City in the building. Orlando, Florida in the building. Oh yeah, Duval is in the building. Minnesota, I see you. Anderson, Indiana in the building. What up? Dallas, Texas checking in. Yeah, Cleveland, Ohio. New Hampshire in the building. Norfolk, VA in the building. What up, Georgia? What up, Inglewood? What up, Cali? Tulsa, Oklahoma in the building. What up? Yeah, Ohio is deep in here. Look at Flint, Michigan right behind that. What up, Flint? Congratulations to the champ. Raleigh, North Carolina in the building. I see you, Las Vegas, heavy in here. I see you, Los Angeles, heavy in here too. B-More in the building. What up, Baltimore? Trenton, New Jersey. What up, Jersey? What up, Compton? LaQuisha, you come up in here saying, yo. Fort Worth, Texas in the building. Duval in the building. 504, Louisiana, what up? ATL in this hoe. Mississippi in the building. Hey, E-Mac. What's going on, man? We got some changes we got to do in Mississippi, man. We got to take Mississippi back over, man. Nah, where the went at? Nah, it's like a... Yeah, let me get that one. Yeah. Yeah, Brick City, what up? Yonkers, what up? All right, we in here. DC Chocolate City, what up, Slim? All day that. Y'all know I'm from the city. I'm so DC, it's my initials, baby. Minnesota, I see you. Powhatan in the building. American Indian Children of the Sun, absolutely. Yellow Hammer, absolutely. OCO, LA, California, I see you. Choctaw in the building. Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. Hey, what up, North Carolina? Woo, woo. Yeah, we gonna talk about that too, Icky. We gonna talk about that. You know we gonna talk about that. I see you, Louisiana. New Orleans, I see you. I see you, Chief. Chicago in the building. What up, Levante? Yeah, shout out to all the snipers in the building. Shout out to the moderators and administrators in the building holding it down. I hit the wrong one. Where my sniper one at? Hold up. I think I loaded it back up, right? Let me see. Snipers. Snipers! Yeah. All right. Make sure y'all join the 13% community server if you haven't already. We about to get started. Yes, sir. Start it over. Start that over.
Set it on fire.
All right. So we good. Kick, we good. Twitch, we good. YouTube, we good. No problems. Everybody can see me. We clear. HD. I had to lower my settings down in order for for Twitch to take it. Twitch wanted my bit rate lower. I was like, damn, that's how they feel. They not, and I couldn't stream in HD. 4K. I couldn't stream in 4K. We good? Okay. What up, Ricardo? Yeah. Did you hear about the Tupac case? I definitely saw it. I haven't took a look at it yet to see what was going on. PG County in the building. What up, PG? It's clear? Okay. On Kick. Twitch, what we looking like? That's good, though. Yeah, we about to get into a distraction. What up, Alabama? Y'all saying all this stuff was a... Dane refers to Denmark and the tribe of Dan. You got that wrong. Not this Dane. Not me. Ain't nothing European about me, baby. Make sure you wipe your feet at the door, though, and hit that like button. I seen how some folks was out there lying, talking about something. I got European in my family, calling my mother white, calling my father white. Nope. Nope. Not me. Get that right. You said they know who killed Tupac and why? Yeah. They been knew. They prolonged it. You said Diddy next. We'll see. I don't know about that. See, you got to remember that Diddy working for somebody. Don't forget that. Diddy up under their payroll. So I doubt very seriously they're going, look at what he got away with. He up in jail for basically nothing. For real. Like, compared to what we know he should be in jail for. Nothing. Like, that was a straight distraction, man. Yeah, that's why he coming home early. Yep, I agree. They keep pushing it up and pushing it up. You said LAPD killed Tupac and Biggie. If we really want to get to it. All right. I hope that on. Okay, it's not on repeat. Yeah, he definitely working for the enemy. Yeah. What up, Troy? You said the beat go high? Yeah. Shout out to all the producers I work with. M16 number 1. Shout out to Me Beats. Shout out to Elijah Geeked. And shout out to me as well. I be producing some of these joints also. Yeah. Yeah, we gonna get into it. That's another thing I gotta fix. It's just a few things I gotta tweak now that I'm multi-streaming, because I want my noties right here as well. And my noties should be, well, I hope I don't miss nothing. If I miss some noties, no, y'all, that's not done on purpose. Like if somebody donate or something like that, that's not done on purpose. You click follow. If I miss it, that's not done on purpose. I'm gonna have this straightened out. Tonight, man, we make a history. Even though we did this before in the past where we multi-streamed to YouTube and TikTok and Twitch. Now we multi-streaming YouTube, Kick, Twitch, and it's gonna be TikTok. After we work these kinks out, it's gonna be TikTok and I think I might add Rumble in there. Either way, it's 2026. We supposed to be multi-streaming. Either way. Yeah, we gonna be talking about the blackouts, Jasmine. We gonna be talking about a bunch of stuff that happened. So we good on Twitch? Okay, good. Good. As long as it look good, no hiccups, no nothing. That's what I want to make sure. So, the computer, you know what I'm saying, can handle everything else as far as the graphics are concerned. I'll fix that up right there. The little chat is small as hell right now. And y'all can't see. I can't see what is being. I can see what's being said over here. But right here on the chat, like right above me, what is right here for y'all, that got to get fixed. What's frozen? That's cap. Don't lie. Don't come up in the chat line. It's back. Right after that. Come on now. I believe you a little bit, but keep in mind, it could be your connection until you connect to it. They denied Carmelo Anthony a new trial. I guess we could talk about that real brief. Let's talk about that really briefly. Let me see. Do I have that available? All right, come on. Let me see. I appreciate the follow on Twitch. Wait, I can't even see who that was. I don't like that. Nah. Hold on. That got to get fixed. I need to see who these are. Hold on. Let me pull up my settings on my phone. I mean, not my settings, my noties. Give me 1 second. It ain't gonna take but a second. I should already be signed in. Yep, I'm signed in. And now it should pop up. DJ KNs, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Mystic Drips, 22 months. I appreciate that. You said, oh, see your brother and fam, let's go. Absolutely. And App Man, thank you for the follow on Kick. Yeah, there you go. Now I can see everything. Now I can see everything. At least I'm going to have it on my side, but it's supposed to be right in front of me. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix that. Hey, man, at least we live, man. What y'all think about this thumbnail? Look at the thumbnail. The power line's down. 5-gallon gasoline in a grocery cart now. Look at the hidden message. The ground beef that got recalled. We gonna talk about all that. Hold on. We gonna talk about all that. Let's knock out this Carmelo Anthony one real quick. Let's knock this one out.
Just learned.
All right. Is it turned up? Yeah. Now let me know if something is too low on y'all side. Just spam the chat and say it's too low, and I'll turn it up. I got a volume button that'll boost it up. You know. I do have my coffee. Shout out to my wife. I appreciate that.
Fire.
You know, she make the best coffee, man. I make coffee, but she make it way better than me. I don't know why that is. It is what it is. All right, so let me play this.
The last 10 minutes or so.
Ooh, now this is low.
Judge assigned in the
Hold on.
appeal of
Their volume is low. Is it turned up all the way? What? It's turned up all the way and it's that low. Let me double check something. Nope, all my settings are up. Yep. Nah, that's them. All right, so let me boost it. It's going to be louder now for y'all.
We just learned within maybe the last 10 minutes or so that the new judge assigned in the appeal of Carmelo Anthony has denied the request for a new trial. If you are not familiar with this case, it has really been consuming a lot of news since April of 2025 when Carmelo Anthony was accused of stabbing Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet there in Frisco. Fast forward to June of 2026, Carmelo Anthony was found guilty of murder, and he was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Here we are at the end of August of 2026, and he was appealing. He was first asking for the judge who set in on his original trial to be removed from the case. He was successful in that, and now this judge who's been assigned to listen to the appeal in this case has denied the motion for a new case. So just wanted to set the scene a little bit for folks who may not have heard everything we were saying off the beginning of this coverage. Keith, since you are still with us, I want to quickly ask you, I am looking at an image of the order that is denying the new trial, and it is 3 sentences long. Rebecca read it earlier. It gives no indication about why the judge did this or any sort of, it just simply says denied. Is that unusual, or is that what we should have been expecting?
That's how it is.
Should have expected that. A lot of times it is just a signature granting or denying the motion for new trial with whenever you have these hearings. So the judge doesn't have to make findings of fact or conclusions of law or tell why he or she makes the decision that they did, or in this situation that he did. So that is sufficient. It just has to be in writing. Again, like I said earlier, I think a lot of this hearing was to lay out and develop the record that the appellate court is ultimately going to decide.
Yeah, so I just fixed up the chat live, so I made it a little bit bigger. But now I'm going to still have to fix it up. I see it's getting cut off. I'll fix all that later, though.
Because in this,
at least it's a little bit bigger.
The judge should grant the motion for new trial. He would have had to have found that the verdict was contrary to the law and the evidence. And again, that wasn't necessarily.
It's not over with, though, y'all.
Hearing was
even though he denied. And Neezy, thank you for the follow on Kick. Even though he, this judge denied it, it's not. That's not over with. They could just keep going up until it goes all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Public and open trial, and then also the testimony and the evidence from why the defendant was deprived his constitutional right to testify based off of this agreement and everything. So I think that this hearing, from the evidence that was presented, for the judge to grant the motion for new trial, there would have had to have been additional evidence. But I think that this hearing was to develop the record, and now the appellate court's going to be able to make a determination whether or not there were.
All right, so the appellate court, and then there's another court after that. I'm trying to remember how it go. Appellate court, then there's another one, and then it's the Supreme Court. The only problem with this is it's going to take longer. It's going to take longer. This could take months. This could take a whole year for Carmelo, to be honest. But we'll see.
Whether or not this evidence that is now in the record supports a new trial.
Yeah, Keith, there was just a lot of people that are going to be disappointed on the Carmelo Anthony side because they felt that they had evidence that there was this gentleman's agreement between the prosecution and the defense, Bill Worski and Toby Shook, where they agreed that they were not going to bring character issues. So the questioning that was done by the defense when it came to cross-examining some of the witnesses, they decided they were not going to get into Austin Metcalf's character. And a lot of times, obviously, that you don't get that into a trial, the victim's character. However, we learned in this trial that there were a lot of incidents involving Austin Metcalf and his brother where there were allegations of racism and violence and bullying. And so, they're going to be upset about this and obviously are going to still try to.
I mean, yeah, that we should be upset about that because that should be held, in regards to his personality. Both of them, Austin and Hunter, both of their personalities. It's just unfortunate that happened this way. And they also said some things about Carmelo, saying Carmelo was saying some wild stuff via text messages. But the boys were suspended. They wasn't even supposed to be there. Austin and Hunter, the twins, wasn't even supposed to be there. That's another thing. They weren't supposed to be there. They were suspended. They could not be there by their own coach.
A little bit about
we'll see.
That whole character issue and this gentleman's agreement and how unusual it was.
Well, again, I think that the unusual part to it was more, that both sides weren't on the same page, right? And so if it were in writing or something like that, maybe everyone has the same understanding of what it is. Again, I think with the hearing of all this, all this evidence.
Baron Willis, thank you for the Cash App. You said keep up the good work. I appreciate that. Brother.
In the record now, of course, people are going to have opinions, and yeah, there's trouble spots for both sides to hear, and the information, the evidence that came out, whether it was regarding the Metcalf brothers or regarding Mr. Anthony, and all this, it's straining.
Now, what happened was the text messages were stating that he would stab someone and lick the blood off the blade. To be honest with you, I still would have let that fly. My point is that they ain't let Carmelo up on a stand and speak his case. Because Carmelo straight up would have said he got jumped. Keep in mind, they were trying to state that this wasn't self-defense. And it clearly was. In the video, we see multiple people swinging on him, to the point where Carmelo got up out of there. When I analyzed the video myself, no text message or not, he did what he was supposed to do in order to protect himself. And that's the problem that I have. Like, as far as them making deals, his original defense attorney negotiating deals with the state and the judge for them not to bring out the evidence that's against Austin and Hunter's personalities. Oh, they're going to be like, because we could hold, Carmelo Anthony to that same standard because of some threatening text messages. No, he wasn't threatening nobody. He just randomly spoke. Now, how do we know he wasn't talking about Call of Duty? How do we know that he wasn't talking about Apex Legends? How do we know that he wasn't referring to something that he was playing as a video game? We don't know the context around that. Now, they said that he sent those text messages to his girlfriend. He wasn't threatening his girlfriend, or he would have been arrested, right? So we can't interpret that as if it was a threat, but we can interpret Austin and Hunter's behavior as hate of a racial group. We can. And with them being so aggressive, on top of bullying people, all of those people that were testifying them, as far as the twins, testifying that they were bullying and all sorts of stories as to the reason why they got suspended. They weren't supposed to be there to begin with. Now that correlates with this case. They wasn't supposed to be there. Again, Carmelo had the right to defend himself. Now I understand if it was just a one-on-one. If it was just a one-on-one, fine. But it wasn't. It was not.
He's extraneous.
He had all right to do what he needed to do.
And the purpose of this, when you're appealing a case from the defense standpoint, you have to ask for a new trial just to preserve it in the record. And so that was what the defense had to do. Again, they were developing the record. The appellate court's going to
D. Thomas, what up?
Constitutional violations and things like that. This judge, his job was not to decide constitutional violations. That's why you don't have findings of fact of what he believed regarding that. But it is clearing the record up and laying the record so that the appellate court will be able to make a determination and make a decision based off of now the full record of everything and how it affected both sides.
But there was a lot of also information that came out about Carmelo Anthony and some violence in his past, as well as some racism in his past. And there were a lot of concerns also.
Some racism in his past.
Some of the evidence that was presented. Do you think that you would want that before the jury, a new jury? Are they gambling on trying to get it?
Man, put it all out there. What they got to hide for?
Well, if there is a new trial, everything potentially comes back in, right? Or is at least subject to coming back in. You can see why, I could see why as an attorney, the defense would want to have some sort of an agreement that evidence not come in for your client. Whenever your client's accused of
I'm going to be honest with you. If they were accusing Carmelo Anthony of racism, they should have put that out and let that be a leading story. If they were accusing Carmelo Anthony of some form of violence, they should have put that out there and let that be a lead story, because that would have changed everything. That would have changed everything. I believe all of this was done so they could hide the behavior, the personalities of Austin and Hunter. Because if you really wanted to throw Carmelo up under the jail, you would have definitely put all that stuff out. But no, that was to hide their past as far as Austin and Hunter. You know, Carmelo was in jail. Regardless, y'all still said that, y'all thought it was a murder. I feel as though it wasn't a fair trial, not only because of that agreement that they came up with, but also not allowing him to testify. Because that could have changed everything. And those people that they brought to the stand weren't pointing to the video like, hey, that's me right there. Hey, that's me right there. Hey, I was right there. I witnessed this. Nah. And then we seeing two different knives. On top of that, we seeing two different knives of the same type. And it's only going to, go back to two people of the same type, not trying to be funny. They twins. Why wouldn't they have the same knife? Different color. I'm just saying. Yeah, the cross-examination of the wounds. None of that stuff was really brought up in court. Like, to my liking. To my liking. Because now you're hesitant about the evidence that's being presented. Like, you can't make a determination that he wasn't jumped by looking at that video. The video that I saw and I zoomed in, I see Carmelo being jumped. There's no way that you could take that away and say, oh no, that never happened. When we see everybody standing up, getting up, climbing the bleachers after him. On top of that. Until Austin started falling back. Now, I know some people was running with the theory that it could have been Hunter that did that to Austin. You don't know what could have happened. They could have had, both of them could have had their knives out. And maybe he was trying to, I don't know. I don't know. It could have been he was trying to hold Austin back. Something could have happened where he slipped up and fell on that knife. That could have happened. But let's just say that Carmelo, let's run with it. Let's just say that Carmelo Anthony did it. Even if he did, I believe that was out of self-defense, because that's more than one person welling on him, in my opinion. And that he should be out of jail for that reason.
Stabbing someone, and there's text messaging earlier about stabbing someone, or if he stabbed someone.
All right, a few more minutes of this and we gonna go to something else.
Lick the blood off the knife. It's highly prejudicial to your client, and it's it's something that if it does come in the record, everyone will see how it plays out if there's a new trial. But I can see why the defense would not want that, because it is very prejudicial to your client.
Teresa?
Yeah, and that's another thing. It was a lower wound. Hold on. I agree with that. It was a lower wound. Like, it was on his chest. Like, and the way they described, as far as the so-called witnesses, the way they described the incident was that they saw Austin picking up Carmelo like this, like roughing him up. One of them described it as a football move. And I'm like, well, damn. So what he gonna do? Stab down? Because that would have been, you would have saw that. That could have came out, okay, like he stabbed down. And then I don't think it would have been the chest. It could have been the shoulder, the neck. Like something that he could get close to with him being up in the air. Being lifted off of his feet, rather. But we'll see. Look, it doesn't matter. We'll see. I'd much rather them do what they have to do in order to find out the truth. And prove that it was done out of self-defense. I strongly believe, ever since I was investigating this, I strongly believe this was done out of self-defense, especially since I saw that video. The video says it all. What was this over? I believe this was over a female. I believe a lot of these incidents that happen, whether if it was, regardless of the race, it doesn't matter. I believe it's over a female. One person jealous of the other. It's always over some female stuff when you talk about high school, especially football players, basketball players. They fighting over females. Y'all know how it go. I was in high school. I know how it go. And that stuff ain't changed. I didn't witness people get killed over females when I was in high school. And I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm from D.C. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't seen it. And it's a guarantee that it's over a female. But should somebody's life be taken because of that? No, I disagree with that. I don't think a life should have been taken. I mean, maybe a fight and y'all get it over with. Like, because there's plenty of fish in the sea. Like, I wouldn't be sweating no one female. I don't care what she looked like. She could look like Holly Berry, Megan Good. I wouldn't be sweating that. On to the next. On to the next. Like, you too young anyway to be giving your heart to somebody at that time. Full. You don't even really know that person like that. You ain't grew up with her for years or she could have been your neighbor for years. Ain't none of that. You met her in school. You don't know her. I really do believe that they need to, look into this situation a lot more to see what the attitude was about from the Metcalf twins. Look at them. Austin and Hunter. Just look at their behaviors and put it on blast. Regardless, put it on blast as far as Carmelo's, stuff as well. I saw what they were trying to say as far as the text message is concerned. I feel as though that wasn't nothing. Because we don't know the context around those text messages. But we know the context around the hate messages and the violence that the twins displayed. So go ahead. Anybody in their right mind would know better. Like, They were actually showcasing their violence, showcasing their bullying. That outweighs a few text messages that could have been taken out of context. And then you ain't give Carmelo a chance to get on the stand and speak for himself. I feel as though it needs to get redone. I'm gonna leave it like that. Let's move on. All right, so before we get into Gary, Indiana, because I just learned not too long ago, I want to say about a day or two ago, about what was happening in Gary, Indiana. Before we get into that, I want to talk about some things that's happening on the thumbnail that you see. Wait, Twitch and Kick don't see the thumbnail. Okay, wait, y'all saw the thumbnail. This is the thumbnail, right? A lot of things are being recalled. A lot of items are being recalled. And without going the conspiracy theorist route, I just want to take a look at some things, put two and two together, give my opinion, And y'all state y'all's. That's what we here for, chat. Let's just state it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just our opinion. That don't make it right or wrong. It's just our opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel as though we should have an open space where we could critically think about these things that we see. Right? All right, so let's go with this. Before we go into anything else, let's go with this first one that I found very interesting. So a couple of months ago, I'm going to bring it back. A couple of months ago, there were large corporations getting rid of their faculties, or no, their facilities, let me say it that way, or their plants where they're producing foods, mainly meats. Now, this is before what happens, today, dealing with Donald Trump saying, hey, man, they're going to import food from a cheaper source, and he didn't disclose where these, like, for example, the ground beef, he didn't disclose where this ground beef is coming from. I find that odd. And he said for the next 90 days, my recommendation is nobody touch ground beef for 90 days. They want to go, make the prices cheaper. We gonna get into it. That part right there is iffy, in my opinion. But before we do that, a couple months, not too long ago, I want to say about a month ago, this happened.
A massive development in Joslin, Illinois, where the hundreds of cars you see now on your screen were people who found out that their jobs at the Tyson plant were gone.
Now we going jump.
Chomps Your News at 10 tonight.
To get to the...
I'm William Ingalls. The Tyson facility in Joslin is shutting down, leaving more than 2,500 people scrambling. This is the letter those workers got this afternoon confirming the plant's permanent closure.
Oh, it wasn't even a month ago. I apologize, y'all. This was August 13th. I apologize. This was August 13th. So a week ago. I apologize. I said a month ago. So a week ago. Maybe the other video that I'm referring to was a month ago that I'm getting ready to play that I see right here in front of my face. So this was a week ago.
2 months, but the job some have leaned on for years is gone. The Tyson Foods plant is located in Joslin. That plant began operations in 1983 under the ownership of Iowa Beef Processors. You can tell by the map it was a central part to the local and regional economy. But why is a company that's called the area home for so long closing its doors with next to no notice? Well, the breadcrumbs were public as of about 10.
So keep them, again, keep the meat, spit out the bones. Let's listen to this. So randomly this happened. And they blame it on price increase? Listen.
Days ago on the company's earnings call, Tyson told shareholders they expect losses around $650 million this fiscal year in its beef processing sector alone. Company officials claim cattle shortages and high livestock costs are to blame for that massive loss. But that reasoning doesn't do much for the workers who now only have a few weeks to find where their next paycheck is coming from. KWQC's Elizabeth Ruggiero talked to some of those workers who learned their career at Tyson was over.
For decades, the Tyson complex in Joslin has been the heartbeat of this community, but that beat went silent this afternoon. As workers arrived for
I wasn't a fan of Tyson Foods neither, but this is important.
They were funneled into the cafeteria to receive a letter that many say felt like a betrayal.
People started fighting, people were yelling, people were crying. I know people that have been here for 30 plus years. I know people that have been here as little as 3 days.
Tyson says the decision comes down to economics, rising beef prices, and lack of cattle. But for the...
Listen. And lack of cattle, rising beef prices and lack of cattle. I'm just trying to understand what happened to the American farms. What happened to the farms in America, y'all? What happened? So you mean to tell me that you're importing everything we eat? Is that what you're trying to say? Like our farms don't exist? We're not reliant on our farms out here? Trump went with, we got to make everything American again, right? Let's do away with other countries and keep everything American based. Okay. So you can't make food American based. You're still importing the food from a totally different country that was not disclosed by the president of the United States. But no, y'all, the prices are cheaper. Don't worry about that. At least it's going to. Let's move on.
2 years ago, the Kellogg's company here told us their plans to modernize its supply chain. And the Omaha plant was not a link in that chain. So after gradually laying off its employees, the plant is now officially closed.
John Chapman explains how the loss of a decades-long employer will affect the metro.
So this is catalogs.
There are still cars parked around the Kellogg's plant in southwest Omaha, but the logo high up on the building doesn't have the same meaning it's had for tens of decades.
They've kind of put the writing on the wall, but now they've officially said that the plant's going to close and all those jobs are going away. It's terrible for our community.
Ain't that crazy? Plant after plant after plant is closing. And I just want to point this out because before, you formulate your answers as to what is going on, I want you to see what's going on. Now, we ain't even got to stay on top of this. Let's keep moving to the next one. Listen.
Thank you very much. HEB is issuing a voluntary recall of dozens of products containing jalapenos.
A voluntary recall of jalapeno. HEB is the grocery store out here in Texas, by the way. They're saying that this recall is voluntary. You heard what it? Listen.
Thank you very much. HEB is issuing a voluntary recall of dozens of products containing jalapenos. Affected items include several HEB varieties of pico de gallo, jalapeno poppers, and guacamole. The recall is one of several in effect after a salmonella outbreak linked to jalapenos imported from Mexico. And it's not a problem that's just at the grocery store, also in restaurants across Austin. KXAN's Eric Hendrickson takes an in-depth look at what the outbreak means for menus in Central Texas.
After decades in the business,
I've always wanted to open a restaurant. Since I was a little girl, I wanted to be a chef.
Maria Richmond now has her dream at La Plancha in East Austin.
We do tortas, the Mexican street sandwich. We have a lot of fun.
All right, now some of their foods are coming from Mexico. Now they also recalled, what was the other thing that was coming from Mexico? Oh, wait a minute. It was, y'all gonna say it. Say it in the chat, y'all. They recalled one other thing. Oh, wait, the lettuce. It was the lettuce and something else. I'm missing one. That the FDA is recalling. Yeah, jalapenos. Hold on, y'all. The lettuce, jalapeno, and it was something else. Was it avocados? Avocados. Y'all saying it. Okay, y'all saying it. No, not the egg. Nah, the eggs too? No way. Blueberries, eggs, avocados. The eggs? Yeah, I agree. If the factory's like, if it ain't real, it gotta go. But keep in mind, that's where they getting it from. Yes, the eggs. Okay. Plenty of people saying eggs. This is crazy. Yes, the avocado. Yeah, it was the avocado and that lettuce. And people were saying blueberries. Ice cream. People still eat ice cream? I guess so. Hold on. Let me not. I guess so. It's been a while for me. You said because of the bird flu? Okay. Okay. All of this back to back to back to back, y'all. That's why I was like, hey, it's happening all at one time. And that ain't it. That's not it. Listen to this one right here.
Data from the Commerce Department shows Americans cut their spending in July by the biggest amount in more than a year. Retail sales fell 0.6% last month, following a slight gain in June. That drop in spending is raising concern among some economists about the resiliency of consumers as Americans respond to rising gas prices and lingering inflation. Joining me now is Heather Long. She is the chief economist at Navy Federal Credit Union. Heather, thank you so much for joining us.
Hold on.
Really appreciate
Before we go any further, so now consumers are not even buying from the retail stores anymore. They're just buying what they need now. They're not overspending anymore. You can't blame them because this economy is messed up. Whether if you want to blame that on Trump, if you want to blame it on Biden, whoever you want to blame it on. Me, I'm going to say this to the government. The government is doing this. And then on top of that, you adding the tariffs on these certain areas. I mentioned before, when the tariffs were coming, that all that does is backfire on the consumers. Why? Because you adding tariffs on particular countries, they're going to raise their prices up so it could offset, right? But when they raise their prices up so it could offset, they're going to charge more. You see what I'm saying? For getting whatever item it is imported, and then these places will charge even more to make up, and that's coming out of the consumer's pocket. Don't like that at all. I never liked that, ever. Now that's the government. Whether if you want to pick which puppet, that's up to you. Whether if you Democrat or Republican, that's up to you. But this is horrible. Economy is crashing. I know a lot of people want the economy to crash because they want it to be a reset. Everybody's saying, hey, it's going to be a great reset, right? But the consumers or the American people will still suffer within that reset. They're price gouging groceries. They're price gouging everything else. And it's not stopping them. Yeah, I remember Trump saying that he was, the prices. I knew that was bullshit. As soon as he lit that fly out his mouth, I knew that was bullshit. Like, there's no way the price is not going to come up. And then they said it was, if the prices do come up, it's only going to be for a couple months. Maximum 6 months. That's cap. Remember, previously they said this was the new normal. We're going into the phase of it's going to be the new normal, where these prices are going to stay where they are. That's an issue. Because that will hurt the people. Especially those that are in low income communities. I'm not trying to be funny when I say that at all. That's going to hit them hard. And now all of a sudden, you're getting rid of you're importing ground beef and not telling the American people, gas too, and not telling the American people where you getting this ground beef from. Ooh, that's alarming. Whew. Look, hold on.
Home Nebraska beef producers are echoing those thoughts today.
KETV Newswatch 7's Aaron Hegarty traveled to a feedlot near the village.
Hold on, before I play that one, let me play this one.
President Trump announced a new plan to import 300,000 tons of ground beef into the U.S. with lower tariffs. It's a decision that he and Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins says will help lower prices.
But the Iowa Cattlemen's Association says it's going to hurt more than it will help. KCCI's Abigail Curtin spoke with both of them to learn what's at stake for purchasers and producers.
Ground beef. It's a protein staple in millions of American households. But since January 2025, the price has jumped 24%.
Wow.
President Trump is hoping to change this. Friday morning, he announced he'd allow 300,000 metric tons of ground beef to be imported with lower tariffs over the next 90 days. In a visit to the Iowa State Fair, U.S. Secretary...
Over the next 90 days, y'all. And they not saying where this is coming from. Now, if somebody said clone meat, perfect timing, Aaron. Now, if they're not disclosing where this meat is coming from, this could be done in the lab. Most likely. Now, don't that go right back to the Agenda 2030 plan? Everybody was saying that we was conspiracy theorists about that, and we were reading it off, at least I was, directly from their plan, government plan. They wanted to take over agriculture and do away with the meats. We even heard Bill Gates say this when he had that interview with he sat down with not Entertainment Tonight. What is that called? Y'all, when the timer 60 minutes. He sat down with 60 minutes and didn't. I can't play it because it's copyrighted. But he straight up said that was going to change as far as the meat. And here we are. We seeing it firsthand. Now the meat changing. Ooh, hey y'all. Here's another thing I thought about. I remember when I was younger, like when chicken was being prepared, you know, whether if you about to bake it or cook it or stuff like that, wasn't chicken bleeding? And I don't see that happening no more. Like hear me out, y'all. Hear me out. Chicken, I'm not seeing that no more. And I know I'm not tripping. I'm not seeing the chicken bleed no more. You said it used to? Facts? Man. So what is this chicken? And I ain't gonna lie. My wife and I was just talking about this earlier today. It's almost like you can't trust anything now that they're doing. Especially when they putting it on blast and slipping it past like this. Look, we're going to make it great for the American people. We're going to lower the price. We're going to import. From where, Trump? Yes, I believe this is lab made. Like all those foods that's out there talking about some grass fed and GMO free. I don't believe them. I don't trust that. Meanwhile, CDC, let me pull this up. Look at this.
Right, Nick, thank you very much. HEB is issuing a...
So, right now it ain't no deaths. Salmonella, E. coli, right now, August 21st. This is on the CDC hold on. This is on the CDC website. Right now. Four hospitalized, 55 cases. This is small. Don't get me wrong. No issue as far as the recall is concerned. So this is Brussels sprouts, alfalfa sprouts. Look at how we don't see this one in the news. Throw them away or return them. What your businesses do not sell. Symptoms, look. experience severe stomach cramps, diarrhea, and vomiting. Some people may develop serious kidney problems and would need to be hospitalized. That's the CDC, y'all. Yeah, it done got dangerous. And this has been past the conspiracy theory route. Been past that. This is actually happening right now. Unfortunately.
It's a protein staple in millions of American households. But since January 2025, the price has jumped 24%. President Trump is hoping to change this. Friday morning, he announced he'd allow 300,000 metric tons of ground beef to be imported with lower tariffs.
You said this is why cancer's on the rise?
In a visit to the Iowa.
Now, it's either that or that vax has something to do with that. Like it boosted the speed.
With State Fair, U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins says this will take some of the burden off of consumers' wallets.
We can get a 25% decrease for families. Usually lower income families rely on ground beef. Then we wanted to make that.
You heard what she said?
Get a 25% decrease for families. Usually lower income families rely on ground beef.
Usually lower income families rely on ground beef. They know what they doing, bro. They know what they doing.
Then he wanted to make that move for the American consumer.
But the Iowa Cattlemen's Association doesn't agree.
Obviously, we're disappointed with that.
Lowering beef prices doesn't come without a cost that the Iowa Cattlemen's Association says is creating confusion for its producers.
We talk about supporting our farmers and ranchers, but then you take with some of their profitability away right away out of this by inserting a foreign product into our domestic market.
There it is. Very good point. Very good point. There it is.
Doesn't come without a cost that the Iowa Cattlemen's Association says is creating confusion for its producers.
We talk about supporting our farmers and ranchers, but then you take with some of their profitability away right away out of this by inserting a foreign product into our domestic market.
This decision comes as
foreign product into our domestic market. And it's going to affect people in the lower income communities the most. And we ain't talk about our farmers no more. This is alarming. People were talking about this coming up 2 to 3 years ago, by the way. I remember I did a live stream where I was referring to the truckers that were complaining. They were sending me message after message, video after video of them testifying that they were making this change happen. Yeah, it's by design. They amped it up. They amped it up. This is crazy. And again, I'm just doing all of this to show awareness. There are some things that we could do about this. I'm just saying, why are we not supporting our own American farms? The real farms. What happened? Back in the day, the elders of my family members used to say, you know, the butchers used to come past and sell their meats right out the trunk of their car. They used to bring the milk also. They used to bring the milk in glass containers to the doorstep. And they were local, coming from local farms. On top of, a lot of our people need to start developing community landscapes, like how they did with the data centers. We need to have it where we have our own farms. Because, okay, for example, those data centers, all that land is farmland, by the way. Let's just let that be known. They always picking fertile land. This is farmland that they're building these data centers on. That's number one. Number two, you shouldn't be trusting none of those politicians that's within your communities if they welcome a data center before they implement more resources like farms that will help the people within those communities. And I even heard people on Twitter that live out there in Gary, Indiana, was stating that as their lights were off, their data centers were on. They got backup at the backup generator. Don't it sound like it's us versus the government? Don't it sound like it's us versus a foreign entity? And that's no matter your skin complexion. I don't think they have the best interests for Americans anymore. I really don't think that's the case anymore. And it doesn't matter the politician. It doesn't matter Democrat or Republican. In my opinion, it doesn't matter. This is the road they trying to bring America down. And you know the saying, let's cross that bridge when we get there. Look, we there now. We there now. And there's been plenty of people preaching about farming. Plenty of people preaching about having your own farms, growing your own crops. I think the time to start is now, if you haven't already. Because it's getting to the point where you can't even trust what the grocery stores are selling. I mean, some people will argue that you couldn't trust them a long time ago. The grocery stores are AKA convenient stores. At your convenience, for your convenience, will provide you these foods that you could buy. But your convenience will be creating your own farm in your backyard. Relying on yourself. Or the community could come together. Relying on a community and make it happen. It's going to be harder and harder for people to trust these convenience stores, grocery stores. Look how we don't even call them convenience stores no more. And that's exactly what they were. All right.
Iowa's farmers
a little bit more. We gonna keep it pushing. We gonna go to Gary, Indiana.
Profit margins, and as the U.S. supply of beef cattle is at a 75-year low, something Secretary Rollins acknowledged but justified.
I understand the decision.
The cattle is at a 75-year low.
And defend the decision and look forward to continuing to rebuild the herd, but to ensure that we're able to provide it.
So it's possible you may notice lower prices on your ground beef in the coming months. But if you ask Whaley,
even after this 90 days, we're still going to have a short supply. We can't turn that cow herd around in that short of a time period. And I think that's
unless you make clones of these cows. Wow.
One of the things I think people have to realize, it takes 2-3 years for us to get to that point where we're going to be able to meet that demand.
It's a short-term solution at best. In Des Moines, Abigail Curtin, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
You said 3D printed meat? All right, let's move on to this one, and after this, we go to the Gary, Indiana.
Those thoughts today.
KETV Newswatch 7's Aaron Hegarty traveled to a feedlot near the village of Dodge. Aaron?
Beef producers say the president's announcement comes at a critical time for them and creates uncertainty. Joan Ruskamp and her husband Steve have 1,100 heifers here at J&S Feedlot.
We can control.
I'm sorry, y'all. He said 1,100 heifers. That's hilarious. All right, let me keep going.
Pen conditions, our nutrition, and the way we take care of our cattle, but it's those outside forces that are the hardest for us to navigate, especially a sudden release of news.
She says there's reason for where the price of beef is at.
We've had really great beef demand, which we appreciate, and so that means consumers are willing to pay for it because they recognize the value of it.
And the U.S. herd is at a 75-year low, and supply needs to increase. Craig Uden, president of Nebraska Cattlemen, says Friday's news makes it more difficult for producers to commit to growing the herd.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, female cows, I know. But, you know, what we use heifer for. You see what I'm saying?
These guys got long-term investments that they're looking to put out there. You know, it's not a 1 year, 2 year, it's a 10-year, 15-year commitment, and it takes a lot of dollars and a lot of work and a lot of effort to continue to increase this beef production.
Uden says they don't agree the U.S. can import its way to reducing beef prices.
That constant drum out there that beef prices are too high creates a lot of angst in the country for our producers as they look forward to making decisions.
Near Dodge, Nebraska, Aaron Hagerty, KETV News Watch 7.
This is crazy. This is crazy. So after all of this, plants closing down, prices are rising, they importing foreign products all the way down to the foods that people consume. We go to Gary, Indiana. And based off of what I heard earlier today when I went live to test the live stream, the multi-stream, people never heard about this. And I ain't gonna lie, this is so sad. This is so sad. So bear with me on this one. I'm gonna be playing a few of them because I even had some videos from people themselves. A lot of people were sending me this stuff because I announced earlier that I just became aware of what was going on in Gary, Indiana, because it was flying up under the radar. And I did check, yes, their local news stations, like the Chicago news stations, they're talking about it, but this is not mainstream news. And this is so messed up. And a lot of us was thinking, hey, they're using Gary, Indiana as a test. Because the majority of the people, 70 to 80% of the people out there need you. In Gary, Indiana, we talking about indigenous territory here. They know what the freak they doing. All right, let's start it off. Y'all need a quick break before we get into this. Some of y'all it's Saturday. I know y'all probably drinking, smoking, whatever you want to do. Y'all want me to give y'all 5 minutes? Get everything together. Type 13 if you're ready. And look, and on top of that, don't worry about the chat. I'm going to fix that up. That's not even the correct font. I'm going to fix that up. I'm going to have that ready. Next live stream. Yeah, I'm ready. I got my coffee. I'm waiting on y'all. Type 13 if you're ready. All right, I'm gonna give you said you about to pour up a cup? You already got some cigars as cognac? Damn. Well, I mean, it is Saturday. It is Saturday. I ain't gonna judge. I'm not here to judge. All right. This is just about awareness. This is not to scare nobody. This is not any of that. We just got to be aware of what's going on. Pay attention. And again, this story right here is major, but this is not major news as far as, the legacy media is concerned. You got some ginger ale, old pop. You mean tree, whatever hey, cigarettes, tree, whatever. It's up to y'all. I'm not judging. Whatever it is. Yeah. All right, we got to take this pop right here serious. For sure. All of it, actually. All of this is serious. But it's all happening at one time. Unfortunately. You got your Dutch on deck. All right. You at work. You got milk and cookies earned. I ain't gonna judge. I ain't gonna judge. You done already went to dessert. Nigga start the show. Oh, wait, I can't say that on Twitch, could I? Yes, I can. I'm an easy, right? They let that slide on Twitch, right? I think so, right? What's the rules on Twitch? I forgot, y'all. Don't get me in trouble and say something wrong that I ain't supposed to be saying. I can't remember what it was. I'm a YouTuber. Twitch is, I don't know. I don't know Twitch rules. Don't set me up. The show already started, by the way. We just started about an hour ago. All right. Yes, it's the birthplace of Michael Jackson. Absolutely. All right, here we go. We're going to walk it down the line.
Power since Tuesday of last week, and I'm still sitting in the dark. I got my grandmother with me, so we have to go out, get our phone charged, get food. We have to throw away the food, trees in the lawn.
Communities of color are left behind and always feel like they're the last to get turned on or the last to get rescued in these situations.
It's not okay for us to continually be in survival mode. We need to have a light at the end of the tunnel.
It's been pretty rough.
Well, more than a week and a half after devastating storms swept through Indiana, killing at least 7 people, thousands are still without power.
Why y'all saying T-Pain?
Around the clock,
T-Pain is from Florida.
thousands of lingering outages remain concentrated in the northwestern part of the state. And ground zero of the outages is centered in Michael Jackson's hometown of Gary, Indiana. Utility company NIPSCO says some 40,000 in the region could remain in the dark until sometime next week. News Nation correspondent Alex Capriello is live for us there in Gary. So, Alex, what is the situation there?
Yeah,
El Fresh, what up?
Since this storm hit Gary, Indiana, and scenes just like this one are playing out all across the state.
All right, so they not getting to it. All right, so let me explain. Apparently, it was like some type of hurricane or tornado that happened out there where it devastated their power grid. Power grids are out all over, especially Gary, Indiana, leaving them in the dark for between, I believe now they're saying 11 to 14 days, to the point where they have to rebuild their power grid, okay, in order to cut people's electricity back on. And the problem that I'm having is Trump ain't saying nothing about this. They didn't send out the National Guard. Where is their governor speaking up? Okay. Requesting a state of emergency. Where is this, bruh? Where is this? They need help down there. Why are you not requesting help from the federal government? It's beyond me. Like, of course, the community's going to band together and work together. That's a given. But you're supposed to be reaching out to all your federal resources. You got the National Guard. You got FEMA. You got all these other things that you got in place for natural disasters, and all of a sudden they not here. And it's been over 2 weeks. That's a problem. Look, you said it looked like Katrina all over again? Katrina? You said right, Katrina in the north. And we seen what happened to Katrina. And don't forget, y'all saying not only Katrina, y'all got to remember Asheville, North Carolina. That was more recent. They went through this too. Where it was a hurricane, knocked everything out. Shout out to my folks out Asheville. Shout out to my folks out there in Louisiana as well, because y'all know, I used to live in Asheville, North Carolina. And oh my God, I can't explain to y'all how devastating that was for me to see. Where everything was up underwater. And keep in mind, we lived in the mountains. Okay? And that's how I know that was man-made. Because ain't no way that water coming up that high. Ain't no way. We talking about 4,000 to 5,000 feet up. And when we did our research, actually, shout out to my wife. My wife did the research. We knew that it was between, it was like 90-something dams. 90, I don't want to be wrong. It was 90-something dams out there in Asheville alone that they blew up. And then it was a mudslide. Oh, man. But people were trying to survive out there. A lot of looting, a lot of killing, a lot of fighting. Police wasn't showing up. FEMA came and left. God forbid they go through this, but it looked like that's what they already going through. That's what it looked like. And y'all got to understand. And people were saying, that's a sundown town, Dane. That's a sundown town. I get all that as far as when they were talking about Asheville, North Carolina. But I needed them to understand, like, because they were trying to turn their nose up. Like, man, there ain't no needy people out there. I said, yes, it is. Yes, it is. There's plenty of us out there. Plenty. You talking about Cherokee territory now. Plenty of us out there. A lot of people that you see coming to Asheville had out-of-towner tags here. New York and Florida. That's not even a real Asheville. Y'all seen my documentary on Asheville. I got featured in that magazine. Shout out to them at Asheville library for that, because they gave me my props for that documentary I did on Asheville. Did the whole history. To let y'all know the indigenous people are still there. But yeah, you know, they want to call it a sundown town and shit like that. I get it. I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to say racism don't exist. But yeah, that don't mean turn your nose up like, oh, them people, like, no. They were trying to force our people out. Same thing with these people in Gary, Indiana. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like they're trying to force all the needy people out of Gary, Indiana so they can start all over. Probably have all that fertile land all for themselves to build up data centers. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's keep pushing.
And the downed power lines that still need to be cleaned up. The result is tens of thousands of people that live here in this city still without power.
I mean, just at all of the years of my life, I've never seen this much devastation, this much damage.
New numbers from the Northern Indiana Public Service Company, also known as NIPSCO, show around 43,000 customers are still without power. 16,000 of those are in Gary, including Gary Mayor Eddie Melton. Melton has repeatedly voiced his frustrations with NIPSCO,
and he the mayor,
saying the utility company needs to do more to restore power to his city. His administration has now requested additional utility crews and linemen to help speed up recovery efforts.
I see what y'all saying. Y'all was trying to call that guy T-Pain just because he got locks. That's racist low key, y'all. He dark skinned and got locks. Y'all saying he T-Pain? Low key, that's racist. I ain't gonna lie. That's borderline racism.
Medical conditions, individuals that haven't been able to talk to family members around the country, reaching out, wondering how they're doing. So this is frightening for a lot of folks.
And many Gary residents are taking their frustrations straight to social media, calling for more help and questioning why it's taking so long to restore power.
Like a horror movie out here.
Some are also alleging that Gary's racial demographics are playing a role in how quickly resources are reaching the community. Thousands of residents are now taking legal action against NIPSCO. A lawsuit filed against NIPSCO claims this damage and the power outages could have been prevented if the utility company had better managed the vegetation and trees that grows around the power lines.
Y'all heard that? So they weren't taking care of their community's vegetation. That was, growing around the power lines. That sound familiar. That was the same thing that happened out here in Texas in 2021 when they had that ice storm and their power grid went out. A lot of people were out of power. Thousands of people. People died. And they were blaming it. Same situation. And wow. Okay, but they filing a lawsuit against the electric company, as they should. And
the power outages could have been prevented if the utility company had better managed the vegetation and trees that grows around the power lines.
They have to be accountable to the people they've harmed, physically, financially, whatever. They would like to blame it on an untoward weather event. Well, we know there's going to be weather events every year. At the end of the day, it's NIPSCO. And unless we hold them to account, they're not going to change.
Relief is also coming from the state.
Okay.
Governor Mike Braun requested an
that's their lawyer
declaration from FEMA and brought in the National Guard to help communities recover.
Oh, let me hear this. They said National Guard.
They're not going to change.
Relief is also coming from the state. Governor Mike Braun requested an expedited disaster declaration from FEMA and brought in the National Guard to help communities recover. The emergency declaration will allow impacted Hoosiers to receive up to $5,000 in recovery assistance.
Many of us.
What? That's it? All right, let me not get upset. What? What, bruh? 5,000? They out for 2 weeks. And I'm going to look this up like, I'm going to look this up here shortly. I want to see how long it took that governor to move. Because this one I'm playing right now just happened today. Actually, a lot of them that I'm playing right here after this one is going to be today. And they didn't indicate this until now. That, he activated, some emergency requests from FEMA. Where's FEMA at? Is FEMA down there? $5,000. That's not enough, bruh. They know what they doing. And they got the National Guard down there, allegedly. I'm going to look into this. I'm going to look into it to see if that's happening.
That our faith is...
Hold on, let me see what this mayor's saying.
Impacted Hoosiers to receive up to $5,000 in recovery assistance.
Up to. So it's not even a guarantee. It's up to $5,000.
Believe in God and believe that our faith is what helps us endure these storms. I truly believe that this is going to make us stronger at the end.
We reached out.
Okay, that was a political answer.
Comment about this lawsuit that was recently announced. We're still waiting to hear back.
All right, Alex Caraballo live from.
Okay, let me hear about this lawsuit real quick.
Lawsuit represents multiple plaintiffs claiming, quote, NIPSCO's misconduct prioritized profits over its customers, saying over the past 2 years there have been multiple weather events causing vegetation to fall on NIPSCO's power lines.
Oh my God. Okay.
The suit alleges this could have been avoided if the overgrowth had been properly maintained.
If you don't clear vegetation, and you know that vegetation, down trees and vegetation is going to cause outages. 3 is you're going to have outages. Predictable, preventable outages. That's what we want to stop.
The most recent
He's an injury attorney? Okay, let me keep going.
Left hundreds of thousands of Hoosiers without power, and some in counties farther west still without power. LaPorte County is still experiencing outages after the storms that ripped through our area nearly 10 days ago. NIPSCO calling these outages one of the worst they've ever experienced, leaving thousands to scramble for a source of.
And you mean to tell me $5,000 max is enough to fix up that house alone that they just showed? With all that damage? And I wonder what these and that's another thing we need to look into. There are insurance companies out there, homeowners insurance. The homeowners insurance companies, we need to make sure that the homeowners insurance companies are not leaving them hanging out there. Like how they did in Asheville, North Carolina. They did that out here in Texas when they had that ice storm, and they did that to the folks out there in California with the wildfires. I'm going to look into it.
Power. One man was in the middle of dental surgery when the power went out.
They removed all my teeth, put the mounts into my jawbone, and then the power went out. They sent me home, where I was supposed to have my imaging done and my implants made.
When Teipold got home, his home didn't have power either, leaving him toothless, in pain, and without medication for 2 days. Because of the large power outage, no pharmacies could fill his prescription, getting power back to his Valparaiso home just this past weekend.
People didn't have power, man. It should have been addressed. We've had numerous storms throughout this entire spring and in the summer. It just wasn't being addressed.
NIPSCO sharing a statement with WSBT 22 saying in part, quote, we strongly disagree with the characterization of NIPSCO's vegetation management practices in the amended complaint and various press conferences held by the law firm of Kenneth Allen Law Group. NIPSCO's vegetation management spend has more than doubled since 2016, demonstrating our commitment and focus on maintaining a safe and reliable electric system. You can read NIPSCO's full statement on our website at WSBT.com.
Okay. I really believe that the people out there that are not attached to this lawsuit should start off their own lawsuit. Like, it should be multiple lawsuits against NIPSCO and their government. Their local governments out there. Y'all should be civil, and class action left and right. Because of this. Hit them where it hurts. In my opinion, hit them where it hurts. Now, let me see what they're talking about as far as these schools in Gary, Indiana. Hold up.
The threat comes as tens of thousands of people in Northwest Indiana are still without power. Now, there is one school back on the grid, and it is providing essential service to the community. And not just in the classroom. Our SL Rezai takes us to Geo Foundation School.
At last check, 44,400 people are still without power. A lot of families calling this school a lifeline right now. Students able to sit inside the AC, attend full classes, get breakfast and lunch, and be sent home with dinner. You can imagine what a relief that can also be for parents who have been struggling without power for well over a week.
Wait, so I'm trying to understand. How can you force your children to go to school when the communities are out of power? I understand that you want to provide them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's good. I'll give them that. But how can you teach anything right now? And this is just one. Then it looks like it says it's a charter school at that. So I don't know, their demographic out there as far as how they handle their public schools and their charter schools. I don't know if the charter schools are being funded by taxpayers, but that's alarming. That's alarming.
Week now. 21st Century Academy has 5 different buildings for different grade levels in this area. They all have power after being closed for 5 days. They got power back on.
I see Niji. Okay. Ooh, this is upsetting. Okay.
Tuesday and open the very next day. You can see students inside having breakfast this morning, also in classrooms. School leaders here saying while they're open, providing full classes, they were only at about 60 to 70% capacity yesterday. And today, I'm told some families of students who are not here have called to say they've had to relocate temporarily to stay with family or friends out of town because of either power outages or storm damage.
So what y'all trying to, I'm unclear on why school is still being held as if it's, like they're resuming regularly scheduled programming, because that's what this is, but that's not clear. They're trying to treat this as if this is still, I don't know about this one. Yeah, I'm gonna look into it.
Teachers and staff members that are here who still have no power at home. And a lot of these kids are struggling. They may be living with other relatives who maybe, if they don't have power, they are providing them a dry environment because their homes the kids' homes were damaged by fallen trees and whatnot. So it is emotional.
Other schools have been closed all week and will remain closed today. Officials with Gary's schools say they'll have a better idea of a timeline over the weekend. For now, they're starting to assess the damage and prepare the schools for when they can hopefully welcome students back next week.
Man, what? And next week they're trying to welcome students back. I'm upset about this one right here. Give me a second. Let me get my thoughts together on that one. Let me play some more stuff. They said Keith Lee joined in to assist in Gary, Indiana.
All right, influencer Keith Lee is bringing his online power to Gary, Indiana, and it's a city that's in desperate need of support.
We're gonna have supplies. We're gonna have a DJ that's provided directly by the city of Gary. And I got over 1,000 messages of restaurants and food trucks and people who sell food that want to get involved. So we're gonna open it up for everybody who want to contribute.
Yeah, that's Keith Lee there. He is a food influencer from TikTok, and Lee says he is hosting a flood relief event in Gary with the Salvation Army. And Indiana Pacer Tyrese Halliburton is also pitching in. He is planning to match contributions made.
Heartwarming to see all of the help.
Huh? I thought with the Salvation Army, I thought Keith Lee got with the church to get this done. I thought it was I'm gonna have to look into this. They said Salvation Army. I could have sworn it was a church. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me keep pushing. All right, and some of these videos, I need to grab some of these people's Indiana governor. Salvation Army has a church too. Okay. I could have sworn it was a church only. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, you smell it. Yeah, and it's sewage. I noticed that in my bathroom, it has a real bad smell.
In unincorporated Calumet Township, the sewage pumps failing during this outage.
And we don't have any power. This is terrible.
Neighbors reporting tubs and toilets stopped working after the storm. Lake County opening these portable restrooms nearby at the Lake Ridge Fire Station. These bathrooms have a sink, they have a toilet and a shower that people can use, and most crucially, they also have air conditioning.
It makes it hard, but hopefully sooner or later, the power comes back on and things will straighten out.
Meantime, over in the city of Gary, this was the scene at the Save More Foods grocery store, running off a generator. That means no meat, nothing fresh.
No luxuries, no ice cream, no popsicles for the children. It's just basic food. Just to survive on.
So what are they giving these children that are at that school? Where did that food come from?
What are some ways that you can help Gary and Northwest Indiana? It's Saturday, August 22nd, 2026, and I've got resources and information for you. Flourish Church in Gary, Indiana is partnering with Keith Lee to collect donated supplies and gas cards, and you can send supplies and gas cards to this address: 225 West 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana 46402, in care of Flourish Church. You can also go to the church's community hub and donate directly.
So they're in partnership with Keith Lee, Flourish Church. That's why I said I could have sworn it was a church, not necessarily the Salvation Army. But okay, let her repeat that again. So those of you that are out there that want to assist.
Some ways that you can help Gary and Northwest Indiana. It's Saturday, August 22nd, 2026.
And that's today.
Resources and information for you. Flourish Church in Gary, Indiana is partnering with Keith Lee to collect donated supplies and gas cards, and you can send supplies and gas cards to this address: 225 West 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana 46402, in care of Flourish Church. You can also go to the church's community hub and donate directly, and you're going to go to flourishchurchnwy.org. Also, an official relief fund that you can donate directly to, facilitated by the Legacy Foundation in partnership with the City of Gary. And this link is in my stand store at the top of my profile page, link in bio. I'll show you. This is the official relief fund facilitated by the Legacy Foundation in partnership with the City of Gary, Indiana. On their page, there is a link to donate. You can find that link here in my stand store, link in my bio.
Let me pause that. Scholarship College Ma'am. I believe that's what her TikTok page is.
Oh, this is my only TikTok page. Also find it here in my stand store. This is my only Instagram page. Now, if you live in or near Gary or Northwest Indiana, this information is for you. Need of shelter, there's one called Hudson Campbell on 455 Massachusetts Street. And if you need charging stations, you can go to the Gary Public Library. There's a medical oxygen refill station at Indiana University Northwest, Lot 9, 3301 Broadway, Gary, Indiana. You must show ID, and there's a limit of 3 tanks per person. There's also a disaster relief truck giveaway from World Vision First Baptist Church. That disaster relief truck giveaway start date is today, Saturday, August 22nd. Also starting today is a community relief and supply distribution at the Tree of Life Missionary Baptist Center, 2530 West 11th Avenue in Gary, starting at 10 a.m., giving away cleaning supplies, personal care items, household, and miscellaneous items. August 23rd, they'll be at First Pentecostal Church of Gary. August 24th at Iglesia Shalom. August 25th at Temple of Deliverance. There'll also be a giveaway August 26th at the Boys and Girls Club, and August 27th at St. Teresa of Avila. Please like this, save this, share this, comment, and repost.
I'm glad I was able to share this. So those of you out there that would like to support the folks out there in Gary, Indiana, and the surrounding area that you go with the information. And again, if you need to grab that information again, I highly recommend going to her TikTok. It says Scholarship College Mama. So at Scholarship College Mama on TikTok. And I believe it's the same on Instagram. All right, let me see what's going on. Hold up. Because I wanted to hear from people on the ground out there. And people sent me a lot of videos, y'all. I'm trying to get through these. Hold on.
I cannot believe no one is over here helping Gary.
Thousands of people in Gary, Indiana have been without power since August 11th.
The National Weather Service informed us that Gary faced the strongest winds, which reached 99 miles per hour, equivalent to a Category 2 hurricane.
All the power is out, as far as I know, all across Gary, Indiana.
They're losing food. Homes are getting warmer.
They do not have money. And some of the cards aren't even working. I ran into some ladies that had children, and my heart broke.
My name's Aja, and I'm going on day 7 of having no power in one of Indiana's worst blackouts and one of the highest crime cities in Indiana.
NIPSCO, the company that services 100% of customers in Gary, announcing that it may be until next Tuesday until many people get power back.
We're on day 9 of no power in Gary, Indiana.
My neighbor across the street, my teacher down two streets down, we have no air in here.
Schools are closed. Families are throwing away spoiled food. People are driving to Illinois just to find ice for insulin.
I am from Gary, Indiana. I was born there, raised there until I was about 8 years old. My family is from there and people still live there. And many people are telling me that they still don't have power. They have trees on top of their homes. One of my cousins sent me this video of a grocery store completely decimated, food spoiled. This is also where the city gave people vouchers to, $150 of vouchers, but this was the only place that they could use the vouchers.
For one, I have not seen anybody else outside of Gary, Indiana talk about what's going on in Gary, Indiana. And I don't like it.
Gary, Indiana specifically is also almost 85% black. That's important.
I think this should be national news, and it's crazy to me that it's not being talked about.
I agree. I'm surprised this is not being talked about, y'all. So hopefully it's not going to be any deaths because of this. None of them have been reported. If it has, I know endless people have passed because of the wildfires out there in Maui, Florida, out there in Cali, and you know there was stuff that happened in Katrina and what happened the hurricane that happened in Asheville, North Carolina. Multiple people died. You know, even the ice storm in Texas. This one I haven't heard any deaths. That's good news, but you know, we don't know. Because it's not being reported on a national scale. So we don't know. We can only go off of the people that are, you know, boots on the ground that are out there.
Yeah, you smell it. Yeah.
Wait, I played this one. Hold on.
Right now, there are people in Gary, Indiana who have been without electricity for more than a week. A storm hit Northwest Indiana on August 11th, and then more than a week later, over 20,000 customers in Gary are still sitting in the dark. Food spoiling, schools closed, people are robbing each other for generators. And of course, Gary is 76% black. About 1/3 of the city lives in poverty. And if you're thinking, okay, well, Gary had more infrastructure damage than the other nearby cities. Okay, but why? Because there's always a part of the story that they want you to ignore. Gary didn't just randomly become a poor black city with aging infrastructure. America made it one. Black residents in Gary were historically segregated into certain neighborhoods. Federal redlining helped deny those neighborhoods mortgages and investment. Meanwhile, government policy helped white families move into newer suburban communities. So when they left, the businesses left too. Then U.S. Steel downsized. Thousands of jobs disappeared. The tax base collapsed. Investment disappeared.
Zoom in some more. Stop being that. Stop starving, bro. That brother starving over there. Relax.
Structure aged. And now, decades later, a massive storm comes through and an already vulnerable community is now living in a sort of apocalypse. And this is how capitalism and racism work beautifully together. Racism determines which communities receive investment. Capitalism says communities without enough money aren't profitable enough to invest in.
Yeah.
We point to the
that brother's starving.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Relax. All right, let me move on. That y'all getting distracted, I guess. Let me move on to something else. Hold on. Shout out to her though. I don't know how accurate she was, but at least she reporting on it.
There is a major crisis happening in Gary, Indiana, and for some reason, no one is talking about it. Not the news, not enough people on social media, and it's truly horrific. Gary, Indiana is literally being left in the dark. I don't mean this as a metaphor. People are in the pitch dark for days at a time, y'all. Days. And it is like the purge on crack there. People have been left without power for days.
Hold on. What I name it? What did I name this live stream? Introvert Rockstar, welcome. Donald Sweeper, welcome. Butch, welcome. Oh, Bamboo, thank you for the super chat. You said, okay, Billboard, America's Future in Gary, Indiana from 6 months ago. This is very suspicious given what's happening right now. Okay, I'll look into it. BBW Lover, thank you for the follow. Yeah, come on, bro. What is that name? Okay, come on.
Huge storm ripped through Northwest Indiana. People are struggling to find gas. People are literally breaking into other people's homes to steal their generators. And every resident.
So the other girl said the same thing.
Now has no food at all because all of their produce has went to waste because of no electricity. And a lot of residents have been reporting very frightening situations where they're too afraid to leave their homes because people are breaking in to steal generators and to try to steal food. And if the situation doesn't sound bad enough, all while this is happening, the people who are supposed to be restoring the actual power reportedly shot at a utility crew worker while they were trying to fix the power. Thankfully, no one was injured, but why would someone even do something like that when they're coming to help? And the people who are suffering through this are not only just young people. We're talking about elderly people that need power, that are probably living by themselves and going through hell. And while all of this is going on, there is trees, rubbish that is not being cleared. People have huge trees on top of their houses that's letting all the hot air in. They have no AC. You have people having trees on their cars where they're not able to go to work or travel or even.
Now we saw this though. We can confirm that she's right about that. We saw the videos of that.
Disabled people are suffering. And if you don't have a reliable form of transportation, you're basically stuck in the house with no power. And for some reason, this story is just not getting enough attention, and I don't know why.
What's going on with the city of Gary? Look at these bags up under my eyes. Now I don't get no sleep anyway because of menopause. But now at nighttime, I don't sleep at night because every little noise, I think somebody's trying to get up in here. So, people getting ready. You know what I'm saying? But what is going on?
Wow.
That the city of Gary is getting no assistance. I don't want to hear that fake ass shit about somebody shot at the NIPSCO truck. But you're going to punish the whole city of Gary and say that we're not going to get any power until September? What about the elderly people that live alone and that's up?
Ho. Whoa, that sound like an excuse that they came up with. Maybe that was a lie where they stated, somebody shot at one of the workers of one of the techs of their electricity company just so they won't cut their power back on. Now she live out there. That's a problem.
In their houses with no power, no nothing. Now, in a minute, y'all gonna find some stinking bodies up in these houses. But do you want that mass chaos? Now people are afraid to even leave their houses because people are stealing generators, are doing all of these things. And it's because we are not getting any help in Gary.
Yeah, she's out there.
Like, that makes no sense. Make it make sense for me.
Now, keep in mind, that video right there say day 7, no power, Gary, Indiana. So that was a week ago. Like, if we looking at it correctly, this was a week ago that she posted this on TikTok.
Because someone allegedly shot at the NIPSCO truck or whatever truck it was, y'all say. But ain't nobody been over here in Gary doing a motherfucking thing. Like, be for real. And that is the reason why you put that story out there, because the city of Gary, the folks of Gary is tired of not getting any help, of not getting any assistance. So we're making noise now.
Now, I told y'all, listen, this same situation was happening in Asheville where they were looting and stealing people's stuff. The police is not going to show up for that. I told y'all, all that stuff is a free for all. When that was happening in Asheville, North Carolina, as far as the aftermath of their hurricane that devastated that particular area, yeah, it was a free for all. They were all for themselves at that point. And people were looting. People were robbing people, stealing their generators, stealing their gas. I didn't saw it. I still got family out there in Asheville. It's just, this is not unheard of, but I believe this one right here is a test. We know that they want these grounds. Asheville had something very valuable underground that they wanted. Gary, Indiana, all that fertile land, I'm trying to figure out why they want Gary, Indiana. That's what it seemed like. I wonder why. We're going to have to investigate that to find out for sure, because this looks like a land grab. Same thing with other places. It be looking like land grabs when they do stuff like this. On purpose, though. FEMA not showing up. The National Guard showing up late, knowing that our people are out there. They don't care. It's purposely done. It's almost like, they're trying to do small migrations of our people to move them closer to different areas that they feel as though is not as fertile as the areas. I believe this has to deal with these data centers. It could be even bigger. This could be control of anything. We got to find this one out, because they chose this area. They picked this one. They already manipulated the weather. I'm sure some of y'all gonna type 13 if you agree. I'm sure some of y'all should know that. But in order for this type of hurricane or this type of tragedy to happen, this was man-made. It's not God not doing that. That's not God doing that, punishing whole areas like that. If y'all believe that was God, then type 14. Is that, in my opinion, ain't nothing natural about that. In my opinion.
But I see all this work going on in all these little surrounding neighborhoods. Now you want to say, y'all not going to give us no power until September? How cruel and inhumane is that?
That's crazy.
Not to mention,
Now keep in mind, she heard about this a week ago. See, again, that says day 7. And they were already talking about not putting that power on back. cutting the power back on for them until September. Yeah, that's a problem right there, bro. That's a huge problem.
Issues with the insurance company.
Oh, what'd she say about the insurance company? Go back.
Is that?
Hold on.
Not to mention, I'm already dealing with issues with the insurance company.
Uh-oh.
Like how inhumane is that? I find that utterly ridiculous. You want to see how dark it is in here? Hold on, I'll show you. Now, this is how dark it is in my house. You know what I got? I got this little battery-operated fan that's about to go out, and I'm luckily I got to get up and try to get ready for work.
Wait a minute, she still got to go to work?
But yeah, this is what's going on. So, make it make sense. Make it make sense to me. Look at my, don't sleep. Because every little noise, I'm listening. I don't know. This is getting ridiculous. It's day 7, no power. Day fucking 7, no power. And who do you think can go and afford to stay in a hotel for 7 days?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how this situation is. I don't know. Let me not even pass judgment on that because I don't know how their financial situation would be. Damn, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Nita, thank you for the follow on Facebook. You say he who controls the weather controls the world. We heard that before. Yeah, she's in the dark. Yeah, she's in the dark.
I'm not Rockefeller. Make it make sense. The refrigerator is empty. We're living out of coolers. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand how you this is supposed to be, y'all got that person up there trying to make America great. America is not for me. This color.
See there?
I just truly do not understand it. How you can treat people like that. And then there's what assistance are you sending over here? Do you got somebody out there cooking food every day for the people in the neighborhoods? No. My neighbor still got a tree on his doggone car. Like you barely cleared the areas for us to be safe in here to get in and out. And the only reason
Nah, that's her fan, not a generator. She showed us that was a fan that she got on. A generator will be much louder than that.
We're able to get out is because the steel mill sent people over here to clean up some stuff. Else we probably would have been still trapped over here in this little hole back here. But I digress. I gotta get up and get ready for work in the pitch black dark with candle lights or flashlight or whatever it is. And now I gotta go to work and be functional mentally. And then I go there and I'm still stressed out at work. Come home, I'm still stressed. I'm trying not to.
And this is indigenous territory, Gary, Indiana. This is all indigenous people. These are our Niji right here. Male and female. They're all being affected. And this is another reason why I want our people to understand why we have to take care of our communities. Because if something like this was to happen, we were supposed to be right on top of that with the resources that we need so we won't have to depend on the government to step in and give us this and give us that. It goes back to the points I've been making over these past 10 years I've been on YouTube. This is uncalled for, one. Yes, people need to be held responsible, but our people out there in Gary, Indiana shouldn't have to suffer while we're waiting for a resolution for them. We should already have the resolution ready. Already in place. Something like this pop off, boom. All right, we got this to kick in. Whatever this may be, you insert whatever you want to insert right there. Because she firsthand right there telling you day 7, they ain't care. And again, that was a week ago.
Yeah, I'm done ranting. But Gary or whoever, I don't know. Somebody needs to get it together. I mean, there's no way that you can treat people like this. Well, you have been treating people like this for years and getting away with it. But your people is getting tired. Your people getting tired.
I'm telling y'all, you keep poking the bear. See, that's what they want, y'all. Look at all the attacks that our people have been coming up under here recently, just in 2026. And people getting sick and tired of being sick and tired.
They should have been tired a long time ago. And I ain't even been a Gary resident for 2 years. And I'm tired. I done had floods and all kind of stuff. And no help. I done lost a whole basement worth of stuff. My insurance said, oh, you're denied. Wow. Another story, but I'm gonna get off of here so I can get ready for work.
So for some reason, TikTok keep on blocking my videos saying I'm violating community guidelines, but they're not even giving me a reason. I know y'all ain't mad that I'm putting the real word out there. All right, now I'm gonna try not to say nothing crazy so that this video don't get blocked or took down by TikTok. So y'all, basically this is Miller, Gary, Etna, however y'all want to put it. This is the beach. So me and my man decided we was gonna go by the beach last night just to see what it looked like over there. Now y'all know that little back road that you gotta turn down to get into the beach. They do have trees down over there, so be fucking careful. But it does seem as if those may have failed afterwards. You know what I'm saying? It is 1000% pitch black dark everywhere, y'all. And then I see a lot of people saying like some people up in Miller have power. I'm not gonna lie, when we was riding through, we seen some people ring lights on, some people TVs on, but it was only one house that had, they gotta make the generators. They probably are the CEO of the generator because ain't no way. But y'all, I just wanna say, please be safe. Don't be out here flying. I know a lot of people is flying through these street lights. Like, y'all, somebody could be on the other side thinking the same thing. Like, please be cautious and be smart. There has been reports that somebody is up on 25th throwing stuff at people's cars. Y'all, please be safe at nighttime. They have already started looting people's houses, looting people's cars, because we ain't got no stores out here to loot. And it's only a matter of time before they start getting into these gas stations. I mean, it's day 4, no power, we have no help.
Okay, so she's day 4. Her testimony coming from day 4. They were already looting. Y'all hear that right?
Hold on. Please, everybody Google Gary, Indiana. And I'm not talking about the surrounding areas that barely needed any help, that just have their power out. I'm talking about Gary, Indiana, who has trees on top of houses. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure this is PG-13 so that they don't block me for some mysterious reason. They're not even giving me reasons that they blocking it. Like, y'all just mad I'm putting a real word out there. And then they go to the house that I was telling y'all about. How do your whole crib, you even got stuff outside? Like, interesting. Who is that?
Indiana residents are furious right now because a data center project literally cut power to tornado warning sirens ahead of severe weather storms. Sometimes you really can't make this stuff up.
Oh, hold on, go back. Data center cuts power to tornado warning sirens in Indiana ahead of severe storms. Is this true?
Residents are furious right now because a data center project literally cut power to tornado warning sirens ahead of severe weather storms. Sometimes you really can't make this stuff up. This occurred in Linton County, Indiana. And according to Linton News, a data center that is being constructed in the county cut power to the lines that fed energy to the tornado warning sirens ahead of severe storm. The power line that was cut ran 4 of the tornado sirens in the county. Now, thankfully, residents could still get information about upcoming tornadoes from their phone, for example, or online. But actual tornado warning signs that go off when you have a tornado nearby, yeah, well, they weren't working for a period of time because of this data center. And Indiana residents are furious that A, there's no backup generator for these sirens. B, the fact that this data center was able to accidentally cut power to them, and so much more. As always, spread the word. Follow along to stay update on all the news.
Interesting.
Coming out of Indiana right now. While entire rural towns are being swallowed by rivers, 95% of Lake County is in the dark for at least a week, and cell service is non-existent. And all of this is avoidable. While there have been miles-long gas lines for days, Governor Mike Braun only just declared a state of emergency.
When? See, that's what I need to know. When he declared a state of an emergency. I knew that was a problem. When did he declare that? Was that yesterday? Was that day before? Because that's done on purpose. Like, for example, down in Asheville, North Carolina, FEMA was called super late. Dumb late. Probably like a week and a half later. I'm not trying to over-exaggerate, but it was definitely too late. And then they only gave the people like between $250 to $500. And they said that it was going to, as far as this situation at Gary, Indiana, it was going to be up to $5,000. That's not enough, bruh. As much money as the Treasury Department is printing on a daily basis, you're going to hand people in need, you're going to hand people in need up to $5,000. And the endless amounts of damage that we saw that they are suffering from. That is unheard of, bro. They doing this on purpose.
This is what happens when your government is owned by mega corporations. They defund public services and neglect the infrastructure that is specifically designed to prevent this kind of crisis. These politicians only listen to you if you can afford a lobbyist. They don't give a fuck about brown people in urban Gary for the same reason they don't give a fuck about rural Connorsville. Because they're poor. You are invisible to our corporate captured government unless you're a big tech firm or a utility monopoly bribing them off for a data center. At times like this, the community around you is all you've got, and you are powerful as a collective force. I'll be covering the aftermath of the storm.
I have to say something because what's happening right now in Northwest Indiana is so diabolical. Northwest Indiana has been without power for 7 days. If you don't know how Northwest Indiana works, they only have...
It's longer than that now, y'all. It's longer than that now.
One power company. It's called NIPSCO. NIPSCO moves however the fuck NIPSCO wants to move. There are 3 cities that are in Northwest Indiana that are predominantly black and Latino, and the way that they are doing this, people, is... it's so wrong. They put up this list and timeline of when they're going to have power restored for all of these white cities. There's no Hammond. There's no East Chicago. There's no Gary, Indiana, which is predominantly a black city. Now, all of these neighborhoods have been without power for 7 days. I'm from this area and they are being robbed. There are people that are trying to break into other people's house to steal their generators. They don't have any food. They don't have...
This is like the 7th to 8th person that's saying the exact same thing.
Any AC. And right now, across this country, we are facing...
You said they declared the state of emergency August 17th? August 17th. Now, that's actually too late, still. Because according to what people were saying, this actually started August 11th. August 11th is when this started. Why didn't they call a state of an emergency right then and there? That's alarming.
A heat dome. There are elderly black Americans who are struggling. And the rich white cities, yeah, they're all coming together and helping each other out, but they're leaving Gary, Hammond, and East Chicago to fend for themselves. And it's fucking wrong. Especially because these are the communities that voted.
There's only one lawsuit that was filed. We covered that. There was only one lawsuit that was filed. It should be numerous, though. It should be plural lawsuits. They need civil and class action lawsuits to come out. But see, our people out there are probably not in the, and not in condition to handle the cost of how much that would be. Unless these lawyers say, all right, we'll do a pro bono, because they know they're going to get something out of it, and so are the residents. See, this is the reason why we got to have these types of things in place. We got to have unions in every state that can fight back against stuff like this while simultaneously helping our people out. We need this, y'all, for our community's sake, because they're not caring about our people at all.
Against the Republicans in that state who are leaving them high.
And that's Republican or Democrat. If I were you, I wouldn't trust neither one.
And dry, and that's probably why they're not getting any help.
Yeah, I put that up. If you, I don't know, no, you are on YouTube. You see the thumbnail. I put it up. Look. Or did I take it down? Nah, I got it. Look at that. I'm not playing. All this is back to back. It's happening back to back. That's how I was like, yep. This a purge. They trying to get them out of there for something.
Look at this pitch. Everyone's like, oh, how dark is it? How dark is it in Gary, Indiana, right?
Thanks for covering this, Dane. Don't even thank me. I was going to cover it. I appreciate the people that was bringing this to my attention. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known. I'm telling y'all, this stuff is being covered locally out there in Indiana and in Chicago. That's it. This is not being covered nationwide. Ain't no TV station or news station out here in Texas, I can tell you that right now, covered this. Not one time. I ain't see it. But they are covering what the government is doing with the foods and, the price gouging and, like a planned recession in a way. And meanwhile, they got planned migrations rather happening right here in America, domestically. This is done on purpose, y'all. They're trying to make history repeat because our people have no idea about their history. It's the reason why I'm here. Let me calm down, because it get me upset. But this is the reason why I'm here, because I'm trying to teach our people to understand what happened to them. I'm trying. I've been trying. I did it for 10 years. I put out endless information about what happened right here in America. And wasn't nobody out there, no Pan Goofy, no Moorish Science Temple, no Hebrew Israelite, no Christian, none of that. Nobody was talking about what was happening here in America, no matter their walk of faith, no matter what God they praised. They needed to be talking about what happened here in America to our people, and stop going it off of, face value, listening to the scholarship of these damn colleges and universities that didn't have our best interests in mind, in which they are holding our true information up under the basements of churches, up under the basements of colleges and universities, especially the Smithsonian. Like, none of these people have been held accountable. And then they got mad at me because I sent down the information about Harriet Tubman, and immediately the Trump administration got on the Smithsonian about Harriet Tubman and pulled all her stuff out. The Democrats complained, and then he put it back up a day and a half after that. I was laughing in y'all face like, if she was real, why did they take it down? Y'all remember that? That video went viral, almost 150K, because I told y'all, I said, look, I'm not playing. They know what I know. And just because my skin complexion is the way it is, I swear to God, if I was a white person, everybody would have believed me. I was the only one sticking my chest out there, letting people know that we are the indigenous people of this landmass. We should not be utilizing the term black. We should not be utilizing the term African American or any other term that they gave us, because these are social constructs designed to keep us down. Every time you say black community, black business, black, that's blacking you out. You see what they doing? They can't see you. Those people are in the dark. And Gary, they're in blackness. You see the negative connotation? And meanwhile, this shirt is black. My skin is not that same color. These people came over here, so-called having your best interest in mind. They just tried to get friendly with you. Handed you flowers in the beginning when the gun was in their back pocket. They had other plans to go against you and take this nation over, and claimed that it was theirs. And then put your mind on Africa and say that you was stolen from there. And that was never proven. Meanwhile, it's foreigners coming over here leeching onto the term black when they not even from here and didn't go through what we went through. But there's people out there that's content creators, and some people call themselves social activists, whatever. It's a whole bunch of people out there still utilizing that term black, knowing that's working against us. Still to this very day. Oh, but this person got a doctorate at such and such university. They got a degree at such and such, and that don't make no goddamn difference. You have been indoctrinated inside of their compulsory educational institutions. And that goes for every institution. Keep in mind, a church is an institution as well. So just because your preacher said it, or just because your professor said it, don't mean that it's the truth. And meanwhile, you had a young brother like me 10 years ago starting it up, making it go viral on purpose so you can understand what your real history was about. And I got a whole rack of backlash, even from our own people, because our own people don't even like the change. The reason why the people out there in Gary, Indiana is going through what they're going through, why? Because they got too comfortable. Listen to me. I'm not going to get on y'all, but I'm going to get on y'all a little bit. And it's going for all of my people out there in every single state. You see, y'all getting too fucking comfortable. Letting these foreigners come up in these territories and doing what the fuck they want to do. And meanwhile, you wondering why they don't give a fuck about you. You getting too comfortable. The American people in general got too comfortable. Look at the grocery stores. Look at the gas prices. Getting too comfortable. And everybody out there struggling, and you ain't gonna complain? No, let's let this be the new normal. Let's let them get away with it. Let's not say nothing about it. Oh, we got to go to this politician. We got to vote this person in. Oh, it's going to change the law. Oh, we got to wait till November to vote. Fuck them niggas, man. Oh, we got to go down there and march. Oh, let's go to the Dane. When you gonna build a school? Dane, when you gonna build a museum? That's not changing shit. We did all the marching in the past as well, and they ain't changed nothing. We ain't get civil rights, and y'all thought we got civil rights for marching. Why are we fighting for civil rights when human rights should override that? You are born with the rights that you need. Civil has all to do with this government governing you to their liking. Woodrow Wilson said they left the liberal education for 1% of the people. Are you a part of that 1%? And that's no matter your skin complexion, by the way. Hell no, you're not a part of that 1%. Black and white are social statuses. What status this government is going to put you in and how they're going to treat you. And you proud to call yourself black, and that's not reflected in your skin complexion. It wasn't never about skin complexion. It ain't about no goddamn heritage. It ain't about some land mass in Africa. That's to keep your ass blind. And you still falling for the same shit from the government. And the reason why I'm raising my voice, goddammit, is because I'm unapologetic. If you don't want to listen to it, fuck out of here. You got something to say? Come see me in my face and see if I don't knock your ass down. Nigga, I'm 6'3". Big nigga. I'ma drop you. Say something. I dare you. It's legal out here in Texas to carry the strap, nigga. Play with me. And I'm over here fighting for our people, and it's my own people turning their nose up. So what the fuck is going on with our people and all people at that? Not just black, not just Niji. This happening to everybody. Americans being affected by this right here. Complete separation, complete division. And those 1%ers are sitting in the back. We don't even know who they are. They laughing at us. Because we fighting and killing each other. They gave us the arts and entertainment so we won't look into agriculture. Listen! Hold on. They gave us the arts and entertainment so we won't look at agriculture. So we won't look at any other field of study that they're capitalizing on right now. The data centers. How many of y'all know some technicians that's your skin complexion? Talk to me. How many of y'all know some coders? How many of y'all know some people that created their own AI app that share our same skin complexion? Zero. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's little to nothing. And they got us all the way at the bottom of the food chain ever since they made sure that we were the masters of the arts and entertainment. Or we can master playing football. We can master playing basketball. We can master rapping. And meanwhile, it's some foreigners who are in control of that. The media stations making endless money. Cable broadcast company making billions of dollars. Meanwhile, that's your favorite football player that you watching. Meanwhile, them billionaires making billions within that 45-minute game that you watching. Whatever, however long it's going to be. And then you get mad because some of those brothers and sisters, but mainly brothers, because the WNBA players ain't getting no money. You wonder why they ain't putting their money together so we can create our own or take care of our own communities. You get mad and say they sold our people out. Right? So what's the solution? Somebody said we got to be on code. We ain't on code. Nigga, the code wasn't even created. Ain't nobody 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old created a code. Nobody. Everybody free for alling. This the reason why stuff like this in Gary, Indiana happening. The stuff like that in Katrina. Took all our people out. Texas. And look at what they doing in Houston. Houston, oh my God. H-Town. Talk about how them white folks pulling up change in Houston right now. Say it in the chat. Taking over our and moving us out. Moving us out. Meanwhile, we got to argue about if we black or Indian or not. Nigga, you don't even know who you are. And you got the nerve to tell me I'm wrong. And you can't even name your great-grandfather, your great-grandmother off the top of your head. And what happened to your family members. That's why history is important. Because if you don't know what happened to your family, it's more liable to repeat. And don't tell me to calm my ass down. Fuck you. I'm going to talk the way I want to talk. You ain't give birth to me. You ain't no God. And I don't let YouTube, Twitch, nor TikTok, I don't let that shit control me. I don't even let my cell phone control me. That's how you're supposed to be living, though. Take control over your whole situation as an individual. Then we can start working towards controlling our communities. But ain't nobody talking like that. Back in the past 1960s, 70s, besides some of the Black Panthers, wasn't nobody else talking like that. Besides Malcolm X, besides Martin Luther King. Few people. Fred Hampton ain't even get a chance. He tried. But few people that we can count on one hand. Right now, who we got? We got Ben Crump. We got Al Sharpton. We got the NAACP that been around longer than all of them. And the Congressional Black Caucus. And all of these niggas are sitting on their hands, ain't doing shit. We talking about people in the government ain't doing nothing. Can't do nothing. This government is being ran by remote control somewhere else. How you think Epstein got away with it? Being ran by remote control somewhere else. You heard what the fuck I said. Their whole entire time, they threw out this so-called virus, whatever the fuck they wanted to call it, and scared everybody. And to getting the vaccine, then all of a sudden, people dying 3 to 5 years later. Everybody getting cancer left and fucking right. And you got the nerve, bruh. It can't be we unless you fix you. What we gonna do about it? No, what you gonna do about it? I'm tired of looking at the same shit just as well as you are. What you gonna do? That don't mean we gotta get up and cause a war, but we gotta get up and fucking do something. Our people out there suffering in Gary, Indiana. Nigga. And it's cool. And you know this so-called legacy media got an agenda if this ain't nationwide news. I'm upset. I just heard about this a few days ago. I'm upset hearing these testimonies, bruh. This don't piss you off? Time after time after time after year after year after. We got to stop this. Break the goddamn curse. Yeah, we might have been cursed by, the scriptures that they handed us and said, listen, they talk about y'all in Deuteronomy. Nigga, where it say in Deuteronomy that we can't break these curses? We can break these curses. Wouldn't God want you to? You gonna stop playing with me. I ain't got time to be playing with somebody else's child. If you're a grown adult, type 13. If you ain't no little motherfucker, type 13. If you ain't scared, type 13. If you unapologetic, type 13. If you tired of what's going on, type 13. If you want to do something about it, type 13. If you know the Creator is waiting on us to do what we got to do, type 13.
This is how dark it is. This is a fucking residential street. That's crazy. And it's like that for miles. It's like that in every fucking direction. Everywhere you look is like that. For the small areas that have power, everywhere you look, it's pitch black fucking dark. That's crazy.
Everything that we see in front of our face right now is normal. Then if it's normal, why does a town in Indiana have no gas, have no electricity, and people are stranded? Oh, you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit.
It's like a horror movie out here. We've got helicopters everywhere. The roads are parking lots. It's like we're all trying to exit town, and there's no gas, no power, nowhere to go. We're stuck. The car is officially off, no gas. It's hot. We've got all the doors open. And Admir's annoyed, so I'm gonna stop updating you guys. He wants me to sit here in hot silence and just burn up and do nothing.
Y'all remember this scene from Leave the World Behind?
Yep.
Look at this. This woman said that there is no gas. There is no electricity. You have helicopters flying over their heads.
And who produced Leave the World Behind and tried to give us a whole lot of messages? Who was that? Whole lot of messages and Leave the World Behind. All right. An ex-president of the United States that y'all call black. And ain't he from Chicago? Or at least he was born and raised in Chicago. All right. Peep game how this go now. Are you yes, he ain't do nothing. He put, yes, and his mother from a totally different country. He was raised by his white yeah, we know about that. We know about that. And Pop's from Kenya. And they slapped that black label on him, and we all fell for it. We was like, oh my God, we about to have a black president. We all fell for that bullshit. We all did. And the whole time Barry from his folks from all right, now let that sink in. Nah, let that sink in. All right,
like they're in the third.
Y'all know
this woman and her husband.
I don't know how far. Hold on, I don't know how far I could go on Twitch. So you got to read it between the lines on that one. I'm gonna have to read that TOS. Like I know I could go far on Kick and YouTube. Twitch, I gotta read that TOS real quick. All right, and when that, you know, okay. I don't know if we could talk about the small hats on Twitch or not. I don't know if we could talk about. I don't know. I gotta look into it. Keep in mind I'm multi-streaming. Those of you on YouTube, like, go ahead, Dane. Trust me, I would. And I gotta make sure everything's straight. You understand what I'm saying? It's just the first one when we multi-streaming. This ain't gonna be the last one, though. I can tell you that.
Had to call an Uber to get them away from where they were. Mind you, they had to leave their car because their car didn't have any gas. In America, tell me what's normal about that. If you have family.
Oh, see, Omani, how you, Omani? How? Oh, man, listen, drop some fire emojis in there, Omani. Come on.
Set it on.
Come on.
Fire.
All right. I'm gonna go back. We can listen to this, brother. Hold on, I'm about to go back. We can play it. Hold up. I saw a couple of y'all asking me to bring it back.
Look at this. This woman said that there is no gas. There is no electricity. You have helicopters flying over their heads like they're in a third world country. This woman and her husband, boyfriend, or whatever he was, had to call an Uber to get them away from where they were. Mind you, they had to leave their car because their car didn't have any gas. In America, tell me what's normal about that. If you have family in Indiana, you need to check on your family in Indiana. And for everybody that's not in Indiana, we need to get ready for something that's going to happen. Because 9 times out of 10, if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere.
Yes. And I don't want it to happen, but you have to be, what was my saying? In my documentary, I said what? Quote, it's better to be prepared rather than repaired after the damage is already done. Right? It's better to be prepared rather than repaired after the damage is already done. So this ain't no conspiracy theory. This is all about awareness and preparedness. Nothing wrong with that. Okay.
Look at all the stuff that's been going on with these data centers. Matter of fact, we're not going to get into that.
It's Aja, and I'm going on.
All right, hold on.
Fucking
you right though.
Having no power and one of Indiana's worst blackouts and one of the highest crime cities in Indiana. As you can see from the bags under my motherfucking eyes, I'm tired. First things first, I have no food. That refrigerator is as empty as my soul right now. I don't know how you don't
cancel that
food desert.
Whoa, cancel that. Don't put that on yourself, sister. Don't do that.
So we literally survive off Family Dollars and one grocery store that sells old expires produce that they get from other grocery stores, and even those are fucking closed. I also have an autistic daughter, which means her screen time has been 0 and my irritation time has been 100. And before you talk about autistic parents and tablets, please know that her educational games are my only time where she doesn't scream and holler, so we're not having that time. We have something very simple set up for the bathroom. We have these little lanterns that we bought from Walmart. They are battery powered. You just pop them down and then you pop them back up when you have to go TT. As you can see, per usual, our favorite is doing what he does best, sleeping. It is extremely hot and humid. Inside my house is 80 degrees because we have no AC and there's a fucking hole in multiple parts of my roof from that lovely fucking tree deciding to collapse. As of right now, they are telling us that they don't know when our power would be back on. First, they told us Friday. Then they accused someone of shooting at NIPSCO. Yes, shooting.
That's the third time. That's third person saying the same thing. Listen.
The NIPSCO worker, and have paused all restoration power in our area attempts to further notice.
See, I believe that's an excuse, y'all. They doing that on purpose so they won't cut those people's power back on. That's the excuse that they running with. Y'all heard that. This the third time, right? Third or fourth time. Yeah, she has an autistic child. Yes. We ain't out there to know. We ain't out there to know if that happened or not. But we hearing the third person saying, I think that was the third or fourth person that said that was the excuse that they gave them as to the reason why the power not back on. Okay? Now, they could have been hearing that from the people that they call, like, okay, hey, man, restoration is coming anytime soon. Like, well, no, we had reports of and they go into it like that. That could have been the workers of that electric company telling them that or relaying that message. That could have been passed down from the top. You know what I'm saying? Telling people, hey, look, the operators, y'all need to tell them that this is the reason why these people are not being, placed back on, and they need more time. They lying. And that other lady said they got it all the way until September as to the reason. I don't like this. This is done on purpose, y'all. I don't like it.
I've been off in Gary, Indiana for the last weekend. It's not major news, no major coverage. Like, what is going on? If you see this post, could you please repost it and share it for me so more coverage can get on the families that's suffering in Gary, Indiana with no power and haven't had power in the last week? It's literally not national news.
Now keep in mind it's 2 weeks now. Not just a week, it's 2 weeks now.
What is going on?
Yeah, she said yes, all the way up to September. That's what she said that they said they were gonna do as far as their area. Out there in Gary, Indiana, and they're not gonna cut that power back on until September, y'all. You know. That's a whole nother week.
People are out there.
I hope our people are surviving out there. I hope they are.
They're suffering in the heat. So if there's anybody in the surrounding areas that can go out and send help, it will be really nice. So we need like all.
Yeah, they said that the NIPSCO, some type of vehicle or the NIPSCO company was shot up, right? Well, how do we know that wasn't the police that did that? How do we know for sure it was just a random resident out there? How do we know the police ain't do that, set that shit up? How do we know that? We don't know that for sure, right? All the flock cameras, I wonder if they still got power down. Let that sink in. All them flock cameras, I wonder if they got that on camera. All right.
That's speaking on the power outage that's been occurring in the last weekend, Gary, Indiana.
I don't know which one of you dumbasses shot at the NIPSCO workers, the electricians or whatever, but
hold up. Now this the what? Fourth or fifth person talking about something whoever shot at the NIPSCO worker. Hold up.
Y'all are some dumbasses. I'm not too certain what the fuck y'all thought that was gonna do. And I'm sitting here on my fucking balcony.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. What is the purpose of shooting at a tech that's trying to cut the electricity on? To me, that don't sound right. That don't sound right. Now I know it's some stupid people out there that do stupid things, but that's beyond stupid. They gotta get mentally checked that actually happened. That's you talking about taking out the people that's trying to harm you. I mean, help you. You trying to take them out. I don't know about that one. That to me, that sounds too iffy. I don't believe that one. Look, hold on. Let me clarify that. Not to say that these people are wrong. The Niji that's saying what they're saying, is being told to them. I'm not saying that they wrong. Okay, not even the operators that they probably got it from. I'm not trying to say that they wrong, but I don't believe that situation happened. And if it did, something iffy about that situation. Like, especially with it being in that area like that. I don't know about that one. It's almost like that was done on purpose. They probably got some paid actors and actresses to set that up to make sure that they don't cut these people power back on. Nope, I'm not trusting it.
And there has been power at my crib since Monday. I just had to throw away all my food. It's crazy as hell. And it's now Saturday, so it's definitely finna make a whole entire week of us not having no power, no electricity. This is something that I'm not really surprised of as far as like having to damn near like doomsday prep and make sure I have my generator flashlights. That's typically my kind of conversation. So, and it's my first time actually experiencing this shit, at least on my own independently. You know what I'm saying? But this is crazy. I don't know why y'all shot at the people and why that all of a sudden is going to be a reason now that you guys feel like you're just not going to stop trying to get our power back on. But that's some crazy ass shit. That's some very crazy shit right there, man. Because look at this.
Sister, they lied, sister. That ain't what happened. They lied.
You don't think we deserve to have our power back by now, bro? People got kids. This is ridiculous, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, the elderly.
Got the elderly lady.
Go down the list.
I was just speaking with her, and she has nowhere to go. Like, there's nowhere for some of these people to go. Luckily, I can go to my mom's house in Illinois, but Indiana, it's fucked up. It's really fucked up out here.
Ooh, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this. Never. All my years of living here, I've never seen anything like this.
said it was 99 miles per hour winds that went through there. I ain't trying to be funny when I say this, but I've seen way worse, especially in Asheville, North Carolina. I'm not trying to compare the two, but what we saw in Asheville, North Carolina, oh my God, bro. Oh my God. When you start seeing dead bodies in trees and you live in the mountains, you know that's a problem. You know that's a problem. And I'm talking about, wow, bro. I'm not going to lie, Indiana. I'm not knocking y'all's situation. I'm not saying that y'all situation ain't bad, but I definitely seen way worse than that. I definitely seen way worse than that. I'm talking about it's areas in Asheville, North Carolina that ain't an area in Asheville, North Carolina. Okay? Like it ain't there no more. It's gone. At least y'all got something.
Hey man, you gotta work the phone? Everyone's at the gas station.
No, I don't have no signal.
No service? Yeah, no.
So what exactly happened in Gary, Indiana that led us to here? On August 11th, there was a huge storm that ripped through northwest Indiana that tore down trees that caused flash flooding and had destructive winds that just no one was prepared for. The storm was so extreme that NIPSO described it as one of the worst storms in history. Now, another issue.
Yeah, that would be a hurricane. Yeah, 99 mile per hour winds. Yeah, it will be what they said, category 2 hurricane. That's what they went through. You said Indiana shouldn't see that type of weather. I agree. We talking about Midwest. I agree. That's how you know the government is involved. I saw a lot of people saying HARP, but they passed that HARP technology over to DARPA. Look this up. And that's the government. And that technology has advanced now. Yeah, they got the direct energy weapons. We just seen that already. We talked about that dealing with the Maui situation, wildfires, the Maui wildfires, and the wildfires out there in Cali. We just seen it in action. Got it on camera. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yep. You said Illinois got over 250 tornadoes so far this year. Wow. Unheard of. Get inside of the 13% community server. I could direct you to where that video is that I covered it and I got it on camera as far as the direct energy weapons. Matter of fact, go on my YouTube channel. Look at the videos where I was covering the wildfires in Cali. It's one of them. It was like 3 or 4 of them. It's one of them, maybe 2. Look at it. It's on my channel. I'm not playing. It's on camera.
That did come up in this whole entire.
And we was talking about weather manipulation then. All that stuff is not a game. That stuff is real.
Process is the fact that a data center was actually built in a neighboring town.
No, DARPA is DAR. DARPA is DAR.
And due to this data center being built, they cut any type of tornado warnings or storm warnings that would have gave people a heads up. And this is like a big issue for people as well, where they're connecting this to why
I don't trust Elon
suffering as much as they are today. Because after this data center was built, people were not getting alerted about the storm and just how intense it was, and a lot of people were just kind of left hanging to dry. This is where the story gets even more disturbing, because if we're getting data centers and we're getting these new technology upgrades that are now making it hard for us to know about our own safety, what exactly are these people building these data centers for? We know what they're building the data centers for at this point, to surveil us, but that's a whole nother conversation.
It's more than just to surveil us. It's more than that. But I'm just trying to figure out why they're targeting Gary, Indiana. Like, why did they target Gary, Indiana? I'm trying to understand. Like, I'm sure I'm going to have to look into this, and I will. My nosy ass, I'm going to look into this. If y'all got some leads, send it to my nosy ass at the 13% community server on Discord. I'm not playing. Send it to me. We on Discord as a community. There's over 14,000 people in it. I'm not playing. Send it to my ass. DM it to me. I'm in there. The real me. And be careful with some imposters out there trying to, make it like they're imposing. They're not. You gonna know when it's me. All that stuff verified, certified. You gonna see it. It's a big difference. Just be mindful. I'm not gonna be in your inbox asking you for money. That ain't me. Okay? So you know when you join my Telegram for some, that ain't me. You know that's not me. Somebody trying to deter you away from the truth when you see bullshit like that. Keep that in mind. And they'll use my picture. They done did it before. All right. Needed, thank you for the follow on Facebook. Hold up. Wait a minute, House, what you say? You said, oh, thank you for the super chat as well, Mystics, House of Mystics. Hey, Dane, love your work. I've been here watching from the bushes since 2016. FYI, you work for a utility company. You could assure you attacks on our field technicians in public is real and increasing. People are angry. I'm not saying that it wouldn't happen. I just don't see that happening out there. As to the reason why they can't cut people's power back on. I'm not saying that it don't happen. But that's like for them not to cut their power back on until September, and that's the reason why. I don't know about that one, bro. Like that one right there. Not saying that you wrong. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm not saying that you wrong. But I don't think that's the case for Gary, Indiana, in my opinion. Jameer, thank you for the super chat. You said wildfires in Reno as we speak. Whole town evacuating as your live ship's chaotic over here right now. Wish you could send the videos, fam. You can send me the videos. Inside of the 13% community server, you can send me the videos. I welcome that. I don't be playing. I be up wee hours in the AM, nosy as hell, doing research. Send it to me. Do not hold that stuff back. Whatever you have, send it to me. I'm going to look for it. But again, DM it to me. You got to join the 13% community server first on Discord. Send me your friend request. I'm going to accept it. And then start DMing my nosy ass, all that stuff you got. I want to see it. Tonyo, thank you for the super chat. You did not leave a message, Tonyo. Please don't do that again. Everybody that's going to send donations, please leave a message. Please leave a message. All right, thank you, Trey Star, for the super chat. You said, Dane, Amina Seals just said something that may be tied to what's happening in Gary, Indiana. All right, send it to me. Send it to me. Let me see it. Rise with me. Wait, rise with me with Alicia. Okay, rise with me with Alicia. Thank you for the super chat. You said look at main chat on Discord. It shows the reason I posted that YouTube wouldn't let me post. Hold on, huh? Well, hold on. I hope that ain't something that you about to send me. You know you could just say that in the chat. I could just read it. Oh, you saying that YouTube won't let you post it. Hold on, let me check. Hold on, I'm pulling up Discord right now. Oh my God, look at my DMs. All right, we're going to have some conversations. Sheesh. I didn't know y'all was about to start hitting my DMs like that. All right, now you said in the main chat. Okay, hold on, let me see. You said, Big Chief, I tried to give money on YouTube, yet it didn't take my comment. You said what's happening in Gary, Indiana is because of the electric grid, because they could take copper and zinc rods, place them onto the soil, and it will produce power, especially since Deniji has lived there for generations. Interesting take. Interesting. What time is it? Damn, I wish it wasn't too late. I'll open the panel. That's a little late. It's a little late. Zion, thank you for the follow on Facebook. Yeah, this okay. Wait a minute. Manager, thank you for the super chat. You said you've been trying to send your stuff forever. Hold on. I've been trying to send you stuff forever. We have our own bank money. You're gonna have to DM me. DM it to me on Discord right here. Pulled up. I wish I could show you, but I don't want to disclose certain people DMs right now that's DMing me right now. But people are DMing me as we speak right now. But I'm not trying to disclose how many. It's a lot. It's a lot, but we gonna come through it. I'm looking at y'all in Discord right now. I can see Discord. Y'all jump. I'm right here. I'm not playing. This is the server. This is the community server. And Sister Ali, I'm going to look into that. I am. And you know, sister, you can send me that stuff. Please send it to me. I don't know what's going on in Gary, Indiana. I don't know, meaning I don't know what they're doing. Now, hold on, Trey Star. Hold on. I see you in the chat. Hold on. Let me approve the, I'm about to send you a friend request right now, Trey Star. You got to accept it. You just got it. Send it on your side and then DM it to me, Trey Star. And then DM it to me. I just sent it to you. You got to accept it on your side. Yep. Okay. You say AI manufacturing plant. We got actually say AI manufacturing plant. Okay. Look at this, Dane. Nismo, what you talking about? I can't see nothing in the chat. You got it. I got the 13% up. You said it's going down. Get prepared, Israel. Shh, Brandon. Don't tell them the plans out there in the open. What's going on in Mississippi? The kidnapping people? Yeah, we talked about that. All of this stuff is happening at the same time, and especially in 2026. All at one time. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I titled the live stream that way. Back to back to back. But this is done on purpose to separate the people and distract them away from the truth. That's why you gotta know who your people are. Carla, take back a Gary, Indiana. All right, hold on. Carla just sent me the one that Seals, Amanda Seals just did. Hold up, let me grab that. Thank you, Carla. Hold on, I'm grabbing it now. I'm trying to move it over so everybody can see it. Wait a minute. Why is it moving so slow? Okay, there we go. And it should pop up. And I hope Amanda Seals ain't make it private. Oh, no, she didn't. Okay, I'm downloading it now. I appreciate that Cash App magnet. I appreciate that. Thank you. You said for two, my brother been ready. It's been go time. I appreciate that. It's been go time. They getting it together. Our people getting it together. I hope they heard me. Hold up. All right, so here you go. Here's Amanda right here.
So while Black voices like Dr. Umar say things like, what have the Palestinians done for us? While Black voices of all kinds say, we don't need to think about Israel, we don't need to think about Palestine because that's happening over there. Here's how Israel is impacting Indiana. You know where they're having blackouts right now, particularly in Gary, which is predominantly Black. Pay attention.
So, I'm not saying Israel had anything to do with this, but I gotta talk about Indiana. So, I saw this girl's TikTok, and she was talking about the blackouts, okay? And she said in her TikTok, to caught my attention, was that the governor of Indiana, Governor Braun, just sold them out to Israel. So, of course, I had to figure out what the hell she was talking about. And, oh my God, she's fucking right. So, there's this thing called Iron Nation, and it's an Israeli, venture capital fund. And it was created right after October 7th because Israel was saying that their tech industry was getting hit hard. Their startups weren't getting enough investment in them. You know, the war was costly, yada, yada, yada. So they created this, I don't really know what else to call it, but a charity fund where they go out and they're trying to raise all this money to strengthen This Iron Nation Fund has literally been called the beating heart of Israel's tech. Just recently, Governor Braun of Indiana just signed something called the Iron Nation Indiana deal, where he is investing
April 13th
of Indiana's taxpayers' money.
Hold on.
Of Indiana just signed something called the Iron Nation Indiana deal, where he is investing $15 million of Indiana's taxpayers' money into Israeli startups. So they're going to start building Israeli startups. They're going to have a headquarters there in Indiana, where they're taking people from Israel and bringing them over to set.
That's why they want to Gary, Indiana. Now, I'm going to look into this more. Shout out to Amanda Sills for pointing this out. So it's not just the data centers by itself. So it's almost like they're trying to do the exact same thing that they were trying to do with Asheville, North Carolina. Trying to build up the smart city, right? Same thing. They doing this on purpose. For sure. We got to take our lands back. Got to take it back. We can't let these foreigners come over here and do stupid shit like this. You can't rewind it. You didn't hear what was said. Hold on. I got you. That's what we here for. Hold up. Let's go back a little bit. Right here.
Governor Braun of Indiana just signed something called the Iron Nation Indiana deal, where he is investing $15 million of Indiana's taxpayers' money into Israeli startups. So they're going to start building Israeli startups. They're going to have a headquarters there in Indiana.
So I was right. It was a land grab.
Taking people from Israel and bringing them over to settle in Indiana, and Indianans are paying $15 million. So they've even said that they're going to integrate the Israeli citizens into the neighborhoods and make them parents at their schools and all of these things, right?
Wow. I'm gonna look into this some more.
So people in Indiana,
but they posting up the articles. They posting up the articles.
Are going to be paying $15 million to bring Israeli startups over to Indiana and help integrate them into Indiana.
So the Zionists that operate and essentially run the central banks, the IMF, that have been using the United States as a bully to run the world while using Israel.
I've been said. Okay, good. Go ahead. Wait a minute. Let me go back. Let me let her say that. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. I got excited because I know what she about to say. Hold up. I'm gonna let her say it.
So the Zionists that operate and essentially run the central banks, the IMF, that have been using the United States as a bully to run the world while using Israel as like a money laundering weapons manufacturer. Yeah, they're now making their big push to colonize the United States. Like Israel was created to give Zionists an opportunity to be a part of colonialism. And now they're doing their next move to expand their empire. Support a real.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look into this. I knew it was something deep. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I knew it was. Shout out to Amanda Sills. I appreciate that take. And shout out to the other sister. I don't know who she is because all of these videos are being sent to me, y'all. Maybe we'll get her name and, I could give her credit inside of the description of this live stream, or if any of these videos get clipped up and put on the main channel or any other channel that I have, and people are able to give me, make sure when y'all send these videos, please let me know who posted them, or where it came from. To the best of your ability or to your knowledge, so I could give these people credit, especially the ones that I'm sharing the information that they put out. Okay. All right. It's been 3 hours. I'm about to get to work. I'm going to have to get to work. I'm going to have to look into this. I'm going to have to look into this right now before I get tired. What time is it? It's 11. It's 11:49. All right. I'm going to do this. What's tomorrow? Sunday? I may even go live tomorrow. We'll see. Just put some positive affirmations out there so we can all come back together tomorrow and make it happen. Type 13 in the chat if you enjoyed the stream. Shout out to those of you that supported the stream as well. Yeah. Make sure y'all hit that like button if y'all didn't already. If you on YouTube, shit out the Twitch and kick. I'ma go in here. Oh, that's another thing I gotta fix up. I gotta fix up what that looked like right there. I'ma fix up that little chat part. But yeah. Yep. Okay. I'ma look into this. You know my nosy ass. I'ma be up. If y'all wanna join the conversation, even at the hours, join the 13% community server. You could do that right now. That's for free. You can do it right now. The 13% community server is free. All right. So, all right, and you gonna be back tomorrow. All right. Come on. Like it depends on the situation. I may even open up the panel so I can get y'all take. Cause I know I want to hear from Sister Ali. I want to hear from a few people about this situation dealing with Gary, Indiana. You know, how do you join? Okay, hit the link right there. It just popped up. The link right there. It say discord.gg/13PERCENT. You sign up with your email address or your telephone number. We got moderators and administrators that had your back, your side and your front. You know, shout out to them, by the way. Shout out to the snipers in the building. Snipers! I'm just saying. Sean, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. All right. So let me get to work. I'm going to see y'all later on Sunday. I think Sunday. What is it? What day is that? The 23rd? We'll see. I think I'm competing with the NFL. Don't the NFL play? We'll see. It don't matter. We could probably still go live. It don't matter. I'm going to see y'all later. Wado.
Set it on fire. 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 Fire.
OCO, free thinkers.
I make you think. Yeah. I make you think. I make you think. Yeah. I make you think. Yeah. I made you think. Yeah. I made you think. I make you think. Yeah. I make you
He's here to make you think.